We got a hell of a room today.
We do.
It's been a while since we had this much
I feel
room.
like we could dance in here.
Yeah.
Merp.
Skank
Merp.
dance.
Merp. Merp. Merp.
What?
No, you are so dumb.
Yeah.
You are really dumb.
Oh, taxation and theft isn't here today. Just the California in
Oh,
honor of what we're going to be talking about today.
California, here
Yeah.
I come.
So,
All right.
welcome to Sideshow 17.
Did we
I was
start?
gonna go 7.
Did you rip the cord?
Yeah, I
All right.
ripped one.
Oh, hello.
What's up, everybody? How you guys doing? Welcome to Sideshow 17, Grim 86 Freedom First podcast. We are broadcasting deep behind enemy lines from our command bunker, deep in the earth.
Yeah, deep and hard. Hard, steadfast in the air.
Hard and deep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's hotter than fucking Hades outside.
It is. It's a sweltering 95 degrees here in California, Northern California. It's not something I'm used to.
All of our
Yeah.
people that listen from Florida are like,
I know. They're like, hey,
"Please."
we fucking hate you, California.
All right, you pussies.
Yeah. Hey, man, this is California. We have good weather all the time.
Sure. I'm
So-
melting a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So we're not used to this stuff, and we're allowed to be pussies because this is where we grew up.
And because we are. All right, so I've been like fiending to like anything new, by the way. I mean, we just did a show and we kind of went over stuff, so I'm sure there's not much new, but is there anything that you had before we get into anything? Because I did have one video I want to show you when we get a second.
Nah,
I've
nothing,
been craving to
nothing
show you
really
this.
new. I'm glad to be back. Been time traveling a little bit.
Yeah, and you've
for you
been
guys
back
who
in
don't
full
know.
force on the podcast, too. You've been
Yeah.
like consistent now.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see if time allows me to stay put or what's going on. But right now, I'm happy to be back, and I'm gonna enjoy the time that I'm here.
We were
and
trying to figure out what happened with Kenny. I think he threw him
Yeah.
in a box and trunk and then shipped him
Yeah,
to a
he's-
different time.
He's missing in action, Kenny.
Shipped him
Yeah.
out.
We have to disavow
Right,
him.
any
Yeah,
information, any
because
knowledge.
he may have been caught.
Sure.
So, so R.I.P. Kenny.
Yeah, rip. Oh, my God. All right, so I want to
What do you got here?
show you this
You
video.
said you have a video.
All right, so
On the Facebooker.
sure.
Catch
sure.
us on Facebook, Grim 86 Freedom First
So there's
Podcast.
this, I want to show you guys this. All right, so check this out.
What the hell is that, dude? He's throwing it like he's...
Skipping rocks, bro.
Whoa!
Look at this shit.
Whoa, dude.
It's pretty legit.
I was going to make fun of him right now, but
yeah.
fuck.
Look at that. He's got like the ninja
He's got a
stance.
fucking technique to it.
Look at that.
Like he's
So
fucking
he's the
Naruto
world,
or
he's
something.
supposed to be the world champion of this.
Really?
Yeah. I never knew
Wow.
this was a thing,
Dude, that is cool, man.
but apparently it is.
Yeah, I was going to call him like this guy the
Confucian, right?
Naruto of skipping rocks.
Sure. Whatever you say.
Whatever that is.
Whatever that means. All right, now I want to show you because this is something that I found that he's perfected his technique.
Really?
And yeah, and I want you guys to see this. This is just, I think it's amazing.
Hadouken!
Oh shit! He blew up
So
that fucking
yeah, I
boat,
really
dude.
been waiting to
Wow.
show you this all
that
day.
was
Actually,
fucking awesome, man.
and I was like, I think that Chris would just enjoy that.
He
thoroughly.
fucking Haruken the shit out of that rock, dude.
Yeah.
On the water. Blowing up boats. Oh, man.
I love that shit. Dude,
Holy
I saw it and I
crap,
just started
dude.
cracking up, dude.
Wow. Is that guy from Thailand?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, we're going to be talking about Thailand again. That whole we talked about it before on the podcast, but the Seasteading Institute, so we want to talk about that a little bit pretty soon here. But yeah, dude, when I saw that earlier today, I fucking was cracking up.
That was funny,
And
dude.
then I thought of you right
Holy
away.
crap.
I was going to save it for the actual podcast, but I was like, nah, I can't wait.
Haruken!
It was like Christmas morning, and you want to just open it up.
Yeah, even the sound effects, like the laser.
Star Wars lasers.
Yeah. Remember that video?
Ryu.
Remember that video of where it triggered your memory of throwing rocks on ice?
Oh yeah. You brought that one to the show.
Yeah.
Where it had that like choo.
Yeah,
and
you
echo.
were like, what the fuck? And it just triggered a memory.
I heard the sound before and I was just like, fuck, wow, that's crazy. I've only heard it before when I had a pool in San Jose and it would freeze and you'd break it up and you'd hear that weird echo of the ice. And it's just a sound that if you've never been around ice in the water like that, you wouldn't know what that is. You know what I mean?
All our Canadian viewers are like, you fucking noobs.
Yeah, sure. Once again, California, right?
You fucking assholes with your perfect weather over there.
Yeah, what's the most annoying sound when you live in another state? Hey, I just moved here from California.
I just moved here from California.
I love it.
We're going to change your laws.
Yeah.
You fucking assholes.
And then I was going to do one more little funny one here.
Let's do it.
So, you ever do any your roughhousing, right?
Yeah, backyard wrestling a little bit.
Check this out.
Oh, dude.
Are you fucking kidding
me, bro? Did he just pile drive him into the...
Yes, a table, bro. Just straight up. What do you think is going to happen, dude?
Did he break his back?
Probably spine crunched.
Oh.
Okay, dude, what's wrong?
What's wrong?
What's wrong?
He just broke my ass bone.
He just broke his neck.
Right? So,
God.
That's, it's just like, are you crazy, dude? Yeah, and if you guys want to look it up, you can look it up. It's on the
see the hole in the fucking lawn? You dumb shit.
Let's go back.
Oh, look at that. That's his fucking head.
That's his asshole.
Oh, is it? Yeah, it fell out.
Oh, you done fell out.
My God, dude. Oh, shit.
Whoa. I felt like you'd want to see that one.
That's some Darwinism happening there.
Darwin. Thinning the herd.
Thinning of the gene pool.
I don't know why, but we don't normally do this stuff on sideshows. But I'm just like, I really want to.
That was fucking brilliant, dude.
Yeah. Both videos were good,
God.
right?
Yeah, it was fucking great, dude.
And I was gonna save them too, but I just I can't do it, dude. It was like
cool.
you know, like you get presents for. Well, some people might know. You get presents for Christmas, and they're under the tree, and exactly. And you're like, Mom, please, can I open one?
Yeah, just let me open one.
That's basically what happened here.
We opened a couple presents.
So you guys are welcome at home. I enjoyed
it.
Dude. I was cracking up on myself.
That straight pile drived his friend.
At first, I was like, "Look at this idiot!" And then when he's like crying and shit, I'm like, "Well, you deserve it, dude."
That was rough.
It was fucking brutal.
I love watching people backyard wrestle.
Oh yeah,
it's so much fun.
Wrestling's cool, man.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, I don't watch it like I used to. Like I used to watch it like.
I think the thing that like makes me irritated about like the pro wrestling style wrestling is that. And it's also a plus. This is also a plus. It's a minus and a plus. Is the outfits, the costumes, because some of them are awesome, right? And some of them are just so bad they're not even good. They're not even good. You know, like there's some bad good, but they're right. Yeah, like no. And I'm not talking about like in the heyday and stuff because that was just kind of that era. Yeah. But like you'll just see some of these guys in their like whatever they're wearing. And you're just like, why are you wearing that?
Why
dude?
are you wearing Speedos?
Yeah. Like I don't know. It just bugged me when if you like saw like a picture of like the top 50 wrestlers, you could go lame outfit, you know. It just but for some reason it bothers me.
Like Arn Anderson, he used to wear those black Speedos everywhere. And then you had guys like Goldust who had like the gold jumper.
Yeah, or like
onesie they
like
used to
so
wear
you'll see
everywhere.
guys like how like how the Undertaker used to be, or Stone Cold, or all those guys, or even Kane, or any of those guys, and you're just like, or Chris Benoit, or any of those guys, right? And you're like, okay, I get it. Kurt Angle, I got it. It had a little gimmick with the American thing and all that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I get those things, but
then
you
had that onesie because he was a wrestler or whatever.
Exactly. But then you see these other guys, and you're just like, what are you doing, bro? Like
what's
I wish I had a good example of it,
dude.
You know who's a badass one is Sting, who he looks like the Crow.
Yeah, that was
badass.
Yeah, he took on that persona like later on.
Trench coaty and all that. Yep.
Like when NWO came in.
Yep. New World Order, bro. Yeah.
That was
the heyday.
Yeah, that was WCW.
Maybe the second heyday because there was the 80s like Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior and Macho Man. Like that was
Andre the Giant.
Yeah, when we were a kid.
Totally.
And the Iron Sheik.
Right.
And Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah,
and
all those dudes.
Hacksaw. All those guys, dude.
Yeah.
And then they
Demolition.
Kind of like, what would you say, like 98 or something? It kind of had a revamp a little bit somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there.
And
that's when I started watching it again.
That's when DX came in.
And that was when The Rock was big too, and Stone Cold.
Like right before The Rock came in, like DX took over, and they were like, They were like
Triple H is cool.
The hard guys,
Hard guy.
the hard dudes of hard rock dudes of the WCW or WWF back then, and then NWO came in later on through WCW.
I used to love WCW. By the way,
they were absorbed by WWE,
right, which was WWF.
Yeah.
And what was the other one? ECW was like
ECW.
the more underground.
Oh,
was
yeah,
badass,
dude. That was badass when they first before they got absorbed.
Yeah, I agree.
by
it was
the
awesome.
WWE.
They had that Van Dam guy. I don't remember what his name was exactly, but his name was Van Dam something.
Rob Van Dam, man.
He was
Rob
awesome.
Van
Yes.
Dam, yeah.
It's been that long, bro.
Yeah,
I can't believe you remember that, dude. That was awesome.
I was religiously watching that shit. Yeah.
I was too, dude.
Rob Van Dam, and then you had the brothers. What were they?
On
the Dudleys.
The Dudley Boys?
Yeah.
The Dudley Boys, and then there was the Hardy Boys, was those like rocker guys that were doing all the flips.
Yeah.
Lita was hot, the redhead.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah.
There was a couple of chicks
Triple H was
on there,
always cool. I always liked him. At least back, I don't know what he's like now, or if he's even...
Yeah, no, I think he's more of like, took over like Vince McMahon's
Oh, okay.
kinda
Oh, that makes
deal.
sense. That kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I don't think he really gets involved too much
Shane,
anymore.
the son. Shane. He was awesome,
dude.
That
guy got his ass kicked so many times.
But he did a couple cool ass moves, dude.
Yeah,
for a guy that just looked like a normal guy going in the ring. Like you're like, what the fuck?
He was so like straight laced, straight cut,
total
dude.
Just he looked like this grocery store checker I used to work with.
Totally, he looks like he would be a manager at a auto parts store or something.
Yeah,
like totally
normal
like
dude.
Like
and Stephanie, this daughter, had the most annoying, whiny voice. I couldn't
remember
stand
when
her voice.
They
got married, Triple H and her.
So Vince McMahon came up with a football league.
Oh yeah, XFL.
Yeah, XFL.
Boom! Watch the first.
So it
was only one season.
I had tickets to the San Francisco Demons. I had season tickets for the San Francisco Demons. So I think they only had one season.
They did,
that was that season.
They fucked up on that. So they needed to have like a year or 2 or 3 years probably of just playing so they'd get those teams even with the draft and all that.
Right.
Because what was ending up happening is you just threw a bunch of teams together. Of course, they're going to be one team that's hella good, one team that's bad.
Yeah.
And so it was just always, every game was just like this completely, one team would dominate. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they had like slight different rules. Like you could get away with more of the contact.
Yeah, more of the hardcore.
They were the first ones that were really implementing those cables.
The cameras, the overhead cameras.
That was the one thing that immediately the NFL copied. Like, they might have had like one every once in a while, but then all of a sudden it became a thing.
It was a better show.
They had a mic, remember?
Yeah, it was a better show.
Yeah, it was
even the games were better. Like when you went to,
I totally think it was better, except for the fact that they were uneven teams.
You know what? Who was involved with that was?
Do you remember any of their names? Because they all
Trump.
had. Sure, you're right.
He was involved in it.
So they should. They didn't have their actual names. They had a what do you call it? Nicknames on their back of their thing, on their back of their jerseys.
Did they? I don't remember.
So the only ones that I remember are 2. One was "He Hate Me," and then a couple games later, someone named that was playing against the team changed his name to "I Hate He." And I was like, yeah, that was like the best troll kind of I thought that was great.
Holy
but I
crap,
thought that
dude.
was stupid. Like, come on, bro. Like, this isn't what's that American Gladiator with Nitro Laser.
Oh yeah,
it's like
Laser,
just have your
taser.
last name. That was the only thing in the presentation part that I didn't like at all. I didn't hate it, but I mean it was just kind of like really.
Yeah, it was
kind
of goofy. But I saw Stephanie McMahon at one of the San Francisco games.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually saw her.
Yeah.
But yeah, her voice is annoying.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree.
It's like a high whiny voice.
Man, that was.
And she really plays it up on the when she's on screen too.
That must have been like, I want to say
early 2000s.
It was at least 2000.
Yeah.
It was before 9/11.
So yeah, maybe 99, 2000.
So much shit changed after 9/11. Like.
Everything changed.
Yeah. I
agree, man.
Yeah, it was a crazy time. But yeah, dude, it was such a cool league. It's just too bad it didn't pan out. I mean, it could have been so much better. It could have lasted so much longer.
Trying to see real quick here. He hate me, bro. All right, let me pull this up for the viewers. Hold on. This is going to take 1 second because this is a little different for me here.
He hate me.
You guys are going to crack up if you've never seen this. But the other guy, I don't see the I hate he or something. It was like that, something like that. All right, here we go.
Oh.
There you go. I remembered it. All I did was type in. What did I type in? I just typed in XFL, I think. Yeah, XFL. So I didn't even search that guy out. It pops right up. That's the only one that I remember. I remember seeing it on the show, and everyone was like, "What the fuck?
Like, what's this shit about?"
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that was a cool experience. The XFL.
Yeah.
There's a San Francisco Demon guy right there.
Yeah. All right. Well, I just wanted to kind of show you guys that whole thing, since we're talking about some random thing you kids might not know about.
Yeah, it was way
before most people's times.
Yeah, probably a lot. I mean, before a lot.
Well,
of
we
our
just
viewers,
busted
right?
out some WWF and ECW, WCW or W, right? Yeah, and then XFL. Like we just busted out some. Yeah, like late '90s, mid '90s shit.
Yeah, this is all our life experience.
For some reason, that's where we
it's
just went.
Not even planned, you know. We're just following the show, man. Wherever the show takes us, that's where we go.
I mean, after that Skipping Rock video,
dude, that was a trip, man.
When I go to break, I'm gonna look it back up so we can play it again. I just want to see it one more time. I watched it like 10 times earlier, and it got funnier each time I saw it. It's just like, why is Ryu going?
Dude, that was crazy, man.
Yeah, and then the lasers from Star Wars. It was like 5 different sounds that are like from completely different shit.
Just all cut and paste together.
It was fucking awesome.
That was brilliant.
Yeah,
I like when things are simplistic. And they're just...
It was fast-paced, too. It wasn't like, you know...
It was like that video that we watched with Jamie, that funny video of the pizza delivery.
Oh, yeah, with the mustache and the beard.
That was so simple. It was fucking brilliant.
That was episode 46, if you guys haven't seen that.
Yeah, check out episode 46.
Yeah. Shows the guy normal, then there's like duct tape, or no, not duct tape, electrical tape.
Yeah, electrical tape.
Like mustache, and then it flicks to the other guy, and then it flicks back to the original guy with the electrical tape.
Yeah, and
now
it starts
a
growing
goatee,
and growing.
And then it's a full beard with eyebrows, and then all of a sudden the pizza delivery guy has it too.
Yeah, and then
sauce on your face.
And then there's sauce on somebody's face, and like, fuck you.
Yeah. Go back and watch episode 46. Yeah.
And it's a good episode despite how high I was.
No, it was a great episode.
Yeah,
dude.
I thought it was good.
What I remember of it.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it, Chris.
Yeah.
All right.
That was good times.
I know that this isn't how it works, but I'm going to do it one time.
What are you going to
do? That never gets old either for some reason.
Yeah.
Like, I've already figured out the technique here. So, all right. So, we're going to pull up. Chris sent this over. It's all the new laws that are going into effect in California.
Yeah, this tackles everything from gas prices to chat bots.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Couple of even though we hate laws, a couple of these things will make life a little bit easier in a sense. Like we'll get there. We'll get there when we get there. So we'll start with the beginning one. So the chat bots, they have to disclose that when they call, that you're not talking to a that you're talking to a person or a computer.
Instead of talking to a real human representative.
Right. I am a real representative.
You're speaking to a chat bot.
What if they lie, bro?
Well, you ever have have to do like online customer service with the company?
I've done it very little, and I hate it. I despise it.
So I've done a little bit of customer service with companies, like not me. Like
right.
I'm looking.
You're not the client. You're doing it for the company you're working for, type thing, right?
No. I'm the consumer, and then I go to get help, and. Like, so you go to they always lead you to their website, and then there's like a link to talk to one of our representatives.
Right. Always go there.
Yeah, and so you click on that, and then and
they still ask you 20 more questions.
How how can I help you? And then you're like,
it's all, have you already been helped? No, you motherfucker.
So it has like responses ready for certain words in your
vocabulary type thing.
In your phrase, right?
Yeah.
So it picks up on those words, and then it gives you directions. Say like for my cable company, one day the cable went out.
You said Skinamax. Please. I did not.
One day the cable went out, and I go on, and I'm trying to get information, and it's like, did you do this? Did you do this? Like
plug your browser in.
And then I realized I was talking to a fucking chat bot, dude.
I was a real person.
Yeah, dude. It's giving me the same information. I was like, look, can I just call you? and it says, before you call, why don't we try this? And it started repeating the instructions again.
And then you realize
it's like, get the fuck out of here, dude. I don't want to do this.
You're like, what am I talking to, a fucking robot? Oh. Oh, my bad. Yeah, so basically in July, the beginning of July, so already in effect, basically, when you call now, they're going to disclose if it's a robot or a human.
Yeah.
I feel like if it's what they should do is just if it's a robot, just say I'm whatever, automated whatever.
Well, they're kind of trying to cut down on fraud, right? Like somebody pretending like they.
But you know what's weird
about? They
do a
chat bot.
But here's the thing. But here's the thing that I always, whenever anyone talks about that, it always kind of trips me out because it's like before the bots were around, they were still doing that with humans. Yeah. And isn't it a little easier to do it as a human?
I would think so.
Because you could kind of read it. You could read it better. You know,
well, you ever like watch the videos of people trolling like the IRS guys? So there's
actually no. That sounds like something I should have watched.
There's videos of people trolling, like these guys are calling from India, right? And they're telling you like, if you don't pay your taxes right now today, somebody's going to come to your house and arrest you. So people will go to like. They'll tell them, you have to go to Target, you have to get a gift card, and then you have to give me the gift card number. And then that'll take care of your taxes. Otherwise, we're turning you over to the authorities, and they'll be there in 5 minutes. So people freak out, you know. Here they are getting this call from the government, but it's all like it's all just a way to scam you out of money. So, I mean, that happens to people all the time. Now, they're doing it with these chatbots, trying to make it seem more official, I guess. But I mean,
yeah, I guess that might make it feel more legit. I guess to some people.
I mean, if you have an accent, I think people are are on to you.
Yeah, the radar goes off right away.
Yeah, they're on to you now. But if you hear like
hear a Russian or Indian accent on the phone, you know, or a real heavy Asian accent, you might
question it
like
this guy doesn't even know what taxes are,
right? Because they don't have them in other countries. Oh my God!
It seems so fucking unique to us, dude.
Yeah, well, that's what we all we talk about, right?
Yeah.
All right, well, let me switch back over here real quick. So, was there anything else on that part of it?
Oh yeah. Let's go through it real quick. Mm-hmm. So we got gas prices increased,
and this is all. It's going to be. So I guess this means it's 60 cents per gallon is a tax now,
right?
Because it was a 6-cent increase, correct?
Right.
But it makes it 60 cents a gallon, correct?
Is
that what it was? I think that's the way I read that.
That's
it's supposed to be $54 billion.
So California pays the highest gas tax.
Yeah, in the country. Yeah.
Yeah. So our prices jumped 60 cents per gallon, like basically over like 3-month period.
Yep.
And we had an opportunity to repeal that, but California voters rejected it, and now we're paying 60 cents more per gallon. But at the same time, I feel like there was some kind of like fraud on the person who wrote.
Well, it's called government.
Yeah, the government defrauded us, is defrauding us.
But what did you feel like?
Like the way that they posed the question.
When it came to the ballot.
Right.
About.
Yeah, so when you go in to vote and you look at the phrasing of the measure or whatever it is.
It felt like you were going against it.
Yeah, it felt like you were voting no for it, but in actuality you're voting to keep it instead of voting to repeal it.
A lot of people said that too.
Yeah.
Not just us on the podcast. I've heard other people say that.
I'm just a lot wiser. I think that was the last time I voted, actually.
Yeah, that was the last one you voted. And then you're all never again.
Yeah, never again.
Yeah.
Because
you saw the light, bro. You know, you figured it out. You know, you did the math. And it was cool because I remember we did a podcast and it got a little heated a little bit.
Right.
But it was more like a heated in a good way. It was like
it's
arguing about it, right?
Like an eye-opener.
And then we did a sideshow and you're like, no, we're talking about this. And let's do a sideshow today. And you're like, I thought about it all night and you explained the whole thing. And it's like, I was wrong.
Yeah.
You can't do it.
Yeah, man.
So we got into that whole thing about voting and it was good because it's like, you can't be consistent if you're saying force is wrong, the NAP, the non-aggression principle.
Yeah, we're going against.
How do you force people into voting?
Right. I mean, because we all know people can't govern other people. I mean, it's
all of us that believe in the non-aggression principle and self-ownership cannot condone that. It's not voluntary. Right. It doesn't benefit an individual. It's a collective.
Like even to me, like the libertarians that are involved in
voting,
politics,
like the party.
Politics. Yeah,
They're
even
wrong.
that is
They're wrong. Yeah. I like them better than the other guys, but
I mean, I like that they're trying to
and I like some conservatives
to change
too,
things,
right? But but you can't be voting, bro.
Yeah,
you're controlling the masses by force.
It's mob rule. You're imposing your will on somebody else.
How crazy was it when you first kind of came to that conclusion? Because for me, it was like a while before that.
Right.
But then when you came to that for a while, it's just like you're still wrapping your head around it. You're still you're trying to figure out.
I remember like having like these arguments in my head, like, well, I remember having the argument in my head. Well, who will pay for the road?
Right. Oh yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah. When you start out, that's level one shit. But
right.
You got to go through that process. Dude.
Yeah, totally.
And then once it clicks, like when it actually sets in. Like, not the first time you go, yes, like when you did that on the sideshow, it still probably took a little while after that.
Right.
To, like, really cement it in there. But once it's, like, finite, like it's locked in, right?
Right.
Then all of a sudden it's just like you hear anyone say anything, it's like, I don't even need to explain it. It's force. You're going to try to force people to do
I don't even bother anymore.
Yeah.
I hear people talking
it's
politics.
Like, you vote, you want to force
wanting
people?
to vote for people, and like people ask me, who are you going to vote for? I'm not going to vote for anybody. Well, then you're
vote for this dude.
Well, then you're condoning this the bad behavior. No, I'm not condoning any behavior.
Exactly. I'm condemning the whole system.
Yeah, I'm against the system. Why would I participate in it? Like,
motherfucker.
Like, and people don't understand that. They can't.
And then what you do is to piss them off. Is like, so what do you think about capitalism? Triggered.
Oh man, I've had so many.
Capitalism is the most beautiful thing,
dude. I've had so many arguments, even with coworkers, about.
But here's the thing, and you'll agree right
about
away.
Socialism and how great socialism.
Oh
is.
yeah, right. But capitalism is just that trigger thing because. People all think that with capitalism, they think of it as in the way it exists today in America, which is not free market. And when we say capitalism, we're talking about free market. So technically, we shouldn't even use the term capitalism, even though it is a good definition of what we're talking about.
It's free market.
But it's free market.
Yeah.
That's what we want.
So those of you who know what the black market is, it's actually
that's what we want.
The free market. It's actually the free market.
Unregulated,
Yeah, unregulated, no taxes. You can buy and sell whatever you want.
Yep.
As long as there's supply and demand, as long as you're not hurting somebody else, I mean, that would be the only.
That's really.
But even like, if that's what you're gonna do, I'm not gonna. Doesn't mean I have to go buy your products.
Mm-hmm. And then eventually you can, we've talked about this before on the podcast too. Then if you found someone that was doing something that you thought was really wrong, like something that was hurting someone, is a great example, right? Or theft, right? Something that's really bad. That everyone can agree is bad, whatever aisle that you're on, right?
Right.
Then you just rally the troops. You get everyone to, you start condemning them, you start shaming them, you ostracize them, and if need be, if it was someone hurting little kids or something like that, then you just raise some fucking arms against them, bro.
Right.
You go handle business, bro. Hey, if cops do it now,
but the market will take care of itself. The market always takes care of itself. So if somebody's putting out a product that's harming people, eventually people will stop buying the product,
correct,
or stop patronizing.
And that's why you go and ostracize them and do whatever.
And that's why
blast them on social media.
The market will take care of itself. And
if it was free market, the news media would be a different world too. They would probably actually do their own goddamn fucking job instead of being state run.
Right.
Because we're not talking about the way it exists currently, right? We're talking about new free market solutions.
Right.
So
you would have those freelance reporters.
Yeah, and no one talks about that angle. I haven't heard anyone in the free market libertarian world talk about that. But like, if we were in a true free market, you wouldn't have these corporation news agencies.
Right.
You wouldn't, because there's corporations
they
created by the
they
government.
wouldn't be able to package and sell you
just talked about something that no one's talked about before.
News report. Yeah. Right. People would actually have to go out and find the news for themselves.
Yeah, because it's a free market.
Like it used to be, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
or ish.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be better than it used to be. Because that was still like the CBS and all that.
It's gotten so like I'm thinking mechanized, but it's not mechanized. It's cookie cutter,
right,
across all of the news agencies, that it becomes the same message.
Oh yeah, how they have those videos where they're saying the same thing on every single fucking show. It's like, it's ridiculous.
And it's run by one
state-run
mega conglomerate
AP
/ government, and it's like, everybody is getting the same news report and reporting it. You watch all the Fox News networks, and you'll see like the same scripted words.
Well,
from different
yeah. So
reporters.
all the conservative style news is all coming from the Fox area. You know what I mean?
Right.
You'll have a few other outlets, but they're all kind of regurgitating the same thing. Then the rest are all going off of CNN and MSNBC.
It's all partisan. It's all.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Just like the voting, right? It's one side or the other.
Partisan politics news. I mean, I hate to use the word fake news because
because Trump.
but still,
but it's all fake news.
It's actually,
but he's using it wrong.
It's not news. It's news commentary.
It's news commentary, but it's really propaganda.
Yeah, it is.
It's spun, and it's just it's government run nonsense.
Trying to sway you to, or it becomes an echo chamber. Like
the only time I watch the news is when it's like there's a fire or some kind of shooting happen, and you just for the up to the moment kind of thing, but you still know that even those things they're going to twist. I drive a lot, so I listen to a lot of talk radio out of the Bay Area. There's a news organization here, and it's probably the biggest in California, and I listen to that just so I can hear what's going on locally.
Not only locally but nationally. Like they talk about like politics, and the politics that they talk about is so bent to the left. And what I hear coming out of them is I hear other people when I talk to them about politics. I hear them say the same things.
Oh yeah, they're regurgitating it.
Yeah. They're just regurgitating. I mean,
it's their what do they call it? Talking points. It's no. What I was actually
it's echo chamber is what it is.
They're marching orders technically.
Right.
Because they don't realize it, but that is what it is. Just give the masses their bullshit.
These are your orders. Now the foot soldiers go out and
go forth.
Yeah. And
sally forth. Whatever that means.
Yeah. So I mean, in the morning there's a show that's pretty good. These guys. They say they're kind of libertarian leaning, but I know
which one you're talking about.
They're
all right.
They're just conservative Republicans, is what they are. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say it too loud, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're okay.
They're okay. They're
funny.
Yeah,
that's the thing. They're funny.
Yeah.
But even some of the
SF, right? I think
some of the other shows on that station, man, it's all like
I'm Ron Burgundy.
They will tell you. I'm a part-time socialist, like
that
shit like that, dude.
Crazy.
It's fucking disgusting.
At least
dude.
they do say that, though.
Yeah, I mean, they'll make it known. They make it known what they are, dude. Yeah. So
I'm a piece of shit.
Yeah. I want to steal your money.
I want to steal all your money and redistribute it.
Yeah. I think that we should take care of the poor. The poor are unable to take care of themselves.
It's like you always say. What about the kids?
The kids.
Yeah. See.
Yeah.
So, all right, let me let's click over here real quick.
Let's go through a couple more of these.
Yeah. So we left off on what, the gas?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
So
it's a bad gas.
Body cams for police have to be released within 45 days of a shooting incident or somebody's harmed, which is to me is not bad. I think that we should have access to that kind of stuff, like more readily available. Here's one that's really shitty. Background checks for people purchasing ammunition. Now, you undergo an instant background check, and they check for
$1 charge for it too.
Felonies. Yeah, and the state has to get their money, so they charge you $1, and that fee will go up like exponentially over the next 5 years.
Oh yeah. Matter of fact, so that's good that you brought that up. So
it says it doesn't limit ammunition per person.
Yeah, which is good because that's different.
Yeah.
So we talked about it on the actual podcast, and we brought this up, but we didn't really get into what you just said, so I thought that was good you said that. But don't think for a second that it's going to stay $1.
Oh, no.
Because I guarantee you within 1 to 2 years, it'll already be at $3 or $4.
Right.
They're going to bump it right away. Or it'll go to $1.50. Right. And then the next thing they'll go, oh, it's $5 now. Because everyone's just going to be like, okay, it's $5 charge.
Well, I've talked about this before, is that somebody I know is a massage therapist, and she has to pay to be to be a licensed massage therapist, and they tacked on $50 this year to fight prostitution, and they
don't they have one on here about that too?
Probably.
Let me just scroll down real quick here. While we're go ahead and say what.
So they tacked on $50 extra so that they can police these massage. But they're not massage therapists. Those are massage parlors, which are totally different. Like there's actual benefits to massage if you go to the right people, if you go to like a sports massage,
right?
Like there's actual therapeutic benefits. Some of these massage parlors, they're just like what do they call them? Rub and tugs.
Yeah. Exactly,
so they're charging this person who's reputable and well established and professional for the people who are doing these rub and tug operations. Right. So the state said we're going to penalize you for their behavior.
Right.
Instead of
I'm a professional chiropractor. They're like barely rubbing your shoulders and they start jerking it.
Yeah.
Thank you, doctor.
Your cock bone is tight.
Why, thank you, doctor. Let me pull this up real quick. So I skipped ahead one. We'll go back to the other one because I know you're going to want to talk about it. But right here is the doctor one.
Oh, yeah.
It's not exactly what I thought it was. But
yeah. So medical professionals have to...
chiropractors are on there, too.
Yeah, have to disclose whether or not they have sexual misconduct, substance abuse, gross negligence, and this includes physicians, chiropractors, acupuncturists, surgeons, like anybody.
So I think this is good. Now, not from the government do I think this is good, but I think this is a good thing. So like if you had a company that had doctors under you, you'd want to do all that stuff and only hire the ones that were not doing that, so you could offer that service to them. Right. And have it disclosed or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's a good idea, but once again, now you're putting force on it.
Right.
Because you're putting it into law. So let me go ahead and, now that we're out of the doctor thing.
I think there was one more about schools. It's not the school meal one, but...
The only one I skipped was the hunting ammunition one, which I did.
Oh, okay.
It's just about the lead in the ammunition they're going to ban, which they've been talking about that.
Lead's bad. Lead is bad.
Of course it's bad, but I was like, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, and there's there's bullets that are made way better than using lead.
Yeah,
I mean, there's better materials
out there. All right, touch
there.
on this marijuana one, and then I'll pop off this till we get to the schools.
Department of Justice has until July 1st to review records of identity. What is it? Records?
It's for them. It's basically they can what do you call it, the marijuana proposition?
Yeah. So they're going to repeal. They're going like if you have a marijuana conviction, they'll overturn it.
Yeah, 63,000 marijuana convictions they already have expunged.
Right.
So that was I read that earlier and I was like, that's at least cool. Like
that's
undoing.
Yeah, but I mean that's totally like a liberal fucking propaganda thing.
Sure.
But I mean it's cool for smokers. We don't have to live under fear that the government's going to knock down our door over some.
I think we got
plant.
We still have this one, correct? Did we do that one?
No, I talked about that a little bit.
All right, cool. So then
there was one I saw earlier. I don't think it's on here, but our last governor, what was his name?
Moonbeam, Jerry Brown.
Yeah, Jerry Brown. Jerry Brown. I think that's it right there.
Yeah,
last year.
I'll pop it up. I just popped it up. There you go.
So last year, Jerry Brown signed a ban for for-profit schools in California. Like that's straight interference with the market.
Mm-hmm. I mean, always. That's all government.
The market will do a better job of educating than the state will ever do.
Yeah.
And, the state doesn't like competition.
Oh no. No, hell no. They want a monopoly on whatever it is, whether it's law enforcement, whether it's the schools, healthcare.
They want a monopoly on our kids. I mean, that's the basic bottom line.
Well, you got to make tax slaves brainwashed, right? Somehow.
Right.
So you put them into state-run schools.
You can't be teaching kids about the Constitution and their rights.
Or anything.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
You have to teach them
real history or anything.
Yeah, you have to teach them about
Christopher Columbus.
Harvey Milk.
And
what a great...
Yeah.
And
GMOs are acceptable.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Like that kind of stuff.
That kind of brainwashing.
Yeah.
And then the other one was about the school meals. I'm not going to pull that one up, but we could talk about it if you want.
Yeah.
Basically, they're just going to provide free meals for. I know some school districts already do that.
Right.
So it already is happening, but it's going to be across the board in California.
Yeah. So California is providing meals, which means, and it's like more than 340,000 kids, which is a noble thing, I would say, but. The problem is...
Yeah, once again, we want kids to be fed.
The problem is... Like,
you're stealing people's money by force.
Yeah, they're stealing people's money. So instead of giving the money to the parents instead of taking tax money away from them, why don't you just let them keep their money so they can feed their kids? That's the.
Well, that makes sense to me. But
well,
apparently,
apparently makes too much sense.
Yeah, to the freedom people in the freedom bunker always makes sense to.
So we're going to take the money, we're going to run it through all kinds of bureaucratic waste.
Caca.
Like we're going to have to pay all these bureaucrats, and by the time it gets to the schools, the meals are going to be. They're not going to feed as many people.
That's because libertarians hate kids.
No, we don't hate kids. We hate taxes.
Yeah. We hate,
I just saw a meme. It said like everybody will say like libertarians hate the poor,
right?
And like we open our wallets like we are the poor.
You're right. There's only a few McAfees and there's only a few of us.
And those fuckers aren't sharing.
No, right? Well, they probably. I bet.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
Well, but when you only have and you got to remember too, the small group of libertarians and ANCAPs, it's so small. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to make a dent. You know what I mean?
Right.
And plus, then it gets into that weird shit of like you got to make donations. They have to make like non-profit type things and what. I mean, of course, it's kind of hard to say that because that's even through the government. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like donating stuff, you know what I mean? Like they'd have to do it that way.
Right.
Because no one wants a government agency distributing people's money. That's a libertarian.
Right.
And if they do, they ain't really a libertarian.
So I saw this news article. Speaking of the food thing, I saw a news article. It said billionaire tries to play hero by paying for school lunches for under
that's right,
privileged kids.
Yeah.
And it was such a he was using his own money to pay for their lunches, but the media spun it like here's this guy trying to pretend to be a hero,
right?
Instead of
what? Do you remember if it was a city or a state?
I don't remember.
Probably
I'll have to look it up. Yeah, I think it was. Well, it has to be maybe a district in a town somewhere. So the school board, not liking this business, it was probably Amazon and Jeff Bezos. I think
that's what you were leaning towards, yeah. But we're not sure.
You
could probably find out on Google.
They rejected it. Like, no, we're not going to allow you to pay for these school lunches.
No, because we all know that an individual can't make the right choices to donate his own money. We need multiple individuals with guns pointed at people to make the right choice.
So I'm part of this organization. I'm not going to say the name because because we're a political a political show. And I don't want that interfering with what
Johnson's.
So I'm part of an organization that raises money. Like we raise money. I use my talents as a DJ to throw these party events, right? And then we invite people from the community, and we have raffles and auctions, and people pay we do a live auction, and people pay like hundreds and even thousands of dollars for some of the stuff that we're auctioning off, and all that money goes to feeding kids.
That's cool
at the local schools here. Now, not only the underprivileged parents who are making less than a certain amount of money, but any kid of any economic
just throwing it out there basically, so
across
the board type thing.
If you're a hungry kid and your parents are millionaires,
they could be rich and be assholes, right?
But you didn't bring lunch that day,
then you're hooked up.
Yeah, then all you have to do is go to the school lunch lady and say,
and that's even more what fairness should technically be like.
And it's free market, and it's people who care about our community, making a difference.
And there's another solution that's
and
free
market. We don't need we don't need the government to do it. It's a bunch of people expending their own time and energy to make sure that kids are taken care of. Not only that, but check this out, dude. The woman who runs it, the CEO, she provides school supplies at the beginning of the year for kids.
Right.
Absolutely free. Nobody pays anything. There's nobody takes a salary at this organization.
That's really cool.
Yeah, every penny goes to helping kids. And they pay for coats, winter coats. Like there's a lot of kids who are underprivileged, right? Who don't have the means to have a good coat, and she provides that for them.
That's really cool.
Absolutely, 100% free. Every penny that we raise gets
donated into the cause.
Absolutely, 100%.
That's really cool,
amazing.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and once again, imagine that government didn't do any of that.
It's
because you get everyone always
people
going,
taking
how
care
would
of people.
we do this without the government? Well, there's another answer.
Imagine like you and I could raise money to improve our road, but we can't touch it because the government.
There's a law.
Because the government has a patent on all the fucking roads.
Fucking ridiculous, dude. On flat places.
And I'm starting to think the only reason why they won't sell the roads off to private companies is because they won't be able to police them.
Yeah, because that's where they get their money.
Yeah, that's a huge revenue.
Well, they get the revenue for building the roads, correct?
Right.
So they're getting money from that because we know it doesn't cost what they're fucking doing.
Right.
And then second off, to police the roads and get all their tickets and quotas and whatnot to get all that extra money. And then think about all the racket that they make when someone's late paying or whatever through the DMV.
And this is why we say that the government doesn't have...
It's an extortion racket.
Yeah, it's not... the government has no means to make money. All they can do is tax and ticket us.
Tax that ass.
And fine us to generate wealth.
You are looking pretty fine over there.
Oh, thank you.
In your sleeves.
Yeah.
Off.
No sleeves.
Yeah, we look like fucking a bunch of idiots.
Man, it's fucking hot, dude.
It's hot as fucking here, actually.
Yeah. So
after
fuck
the
you
lights
guys
have been on,
if you don't like my shoulders.
Neighbor. And we're banned. All right, guys. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back.
Hadouken!
I could just do this all day.
Hadouken!
Like, all day, bro. Whose boat is that? I want to know the story behind that boat, right?
I got destroyed by a skipping rock.
Right? Fuck, dude. That shit is just classic, dude. I'm enjoying the shit out of that video. Like I said, I watched it like 8-10 times earlier today. Well, just cracking up. Oh, my God.
What's up, everybody? We're back with some more Grim 86 Freedom First podcast. Check out our podcast anywhere you get free podcasts.
Yeah, check us out on the old Facebook, the Twitter. Let's see here. YouTube, obviously, because you're probably watching this here on YouTube. Yeah. Instagram, SoundCloud, Pornhub, Patreon, and Spotify. And then our merch link is down below in the description. And,
right there.
We're a freedom-oriented podcast.
100% self...
that likes jerking it. And we also say stay out of the water.
I was going to say 100% self-supported.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Although we have some donations for torture.
Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So I don't know who is the guy who...
I don't know him. It's one of Jamie's. So Jamie knows a couple that basically donated some money to us for these super hot gummy bears. And then we also had another friend that donated the ramen and the Russian food.
And you guys tried the ramen on the live show,
we did
right?
and then we just did a quick. When our internet went down, we just did a pre-recorded version of trying out that Russian food ration.
Right.
Emergency ration. So we have that video up separately.
Yeah. Shout out to Aaron and Bo, our newest members of the Grim 86 Freedom First family.
Yeah. And then what was the other food there? I felt like there was one more. Oh, and then also Val. Val also donated one. So
Val also part of the Grim 86 Freedom First family.
Too. Yeah. Word up to Andy from number 5. Word up to Kenny.
Andy and Kenny.
Yeah. And Ian's been on too.
Yeah, Ian
so
also.
There's a couple people that are
Where is Ian? I haven't seen that guy in a while.
He's out and about. Yeah. He's out and about. I see him.
Yeah.
So.
All my time traveling, man.
You've been busy.
Yeah. Yeah. I went back and looked at
For
Ian
us, it was
when
like
he was
4
a child.
months. Sure, yeah.
He's a little baby Ian.
Oh, 5 years ago.
He's a little baby Ian, like 350 pounds already.
Fucking muscle and shit, no neck. And just, with my boo-boo in my mouth. Just like, what's up?
Yeah. So, we've had some donations. We've had some, we've made friends along the way. We have, so far, a small but steady, strong, interested group of people watching us and supporting us.
And a big shout out to the Freedom Fighters, right? I mean, that's what you're talking about right now.
Freedom Fighters, thank you guys for always supporting us and watching us. And, the people who watch a live show, I mean, that's really cool.
Oh, yeah, the interaction is just so fun.
Yeah,
so great.
so much fun.
One of these days you'll get in there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So you'll enjoy it, dude. It's pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah, the live stuff, that sounds fun.
Mm-hmm. It is.
I want to send a shout-out to Liberty Nerds on Facebook. Cool little group, private group.
Cool.
ANCAP Gamers. That's another cool group on Facebook. And to all of you ANCAPers out there who are trying to live as free as you can, we have a special segment for you guys that we're going to talk about in a second.
Seasteading Institute.
Yeah, Seasteading Institute. Let's check that out.
We'll get into that in a second. Do you have any more that you want to? Are you good?
Yeah, I think I'm good. Oh, well, shout out to Danielle. She's an ANCAPper, and Shorty, one of my gamer friends, are a Division ally. The Division 2 is the game I play. If you want to hit me up on Xbox, it's XDeathXDealX. That's the game.
Yeah, I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah, Death Deal.
There you go.
Yeah, check me out.
Give it one more time real quick.
X, Death, X, Deal, X. 3 X's.
XOXO.
XOXO. Hugs and kisses, baby.
Sure. Yeah. All right. That was gay. All right. I just wanted to say, though, really, impress upon everyone about that live stream. If you guys have the time, it's always going to be on Mondays at 5 o'clock. And we usually go to about 6:30, 6:45-ish at the very latest. It kind of just depends on who's talking.
Yeah, jump in there and interact with the guys.
You can ask your questions.
They're actually interacting with everybody.
We're answering almost everything. Almost.
Yeah. We're trying to anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
So, yeah.
And then you get to see Bo eat, hot shit.
Yeah. Well, we all do, but he did on this last one.
He was really enjoying it. I watched that.
He was sweating like a beast. Oh, and I caught
the rebroadcast of that.
Yeah, that's good that you brought that up. Yeah. So then after we're done broadcasting, it's still on there. Now, there'll be 10 to 20 minutes of just a blank screen, so you have to kind of skip forward till you see our picture.
Right.
Because it's kind of the way it's broadcast that way. So,
yeah, I saw that. I was like, what's going on here?
Yeah, you just have to kind of
I thought you
on
got
a couple of the earlier episodes, I actually have in the description the time, and you can click the time, and it'll bring you right there.
Right.
But on the last few, I just didn't do it.
Yeah, so I watched Bo get heated over that over that
heat. And I can report back. He's going to talk about it on the. I'm sure he'll bring it up on the live stream this Monday. But he said that his poop was not that bad the next day.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, that was my first question to him in the morning.
Him and I have to do a hot pepper challenge. We'll start off.
Well, I think this gummy bear challenge is going to be the one.
No, I want to bring in peppers, right? So
these are supposed to be hotter.
We'll start with something mild, like a I don't know, peppercini. And then go to
ketchup.
Yeah.
What?
From a peppercini to a banana.
Right.
To jalapeno to
ghost.
I don't think we'll get that far.
Yeah, well, I feel like this gummy bear is supposed to be that level.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I want to try it.
Yeah, so you will get to try
I want to try the chip challenge. That's what I really want.
Well, that one's supposed to be coming from Ray, so.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You know Ray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife actually has a friend who did that. We'll have to find the video, and I'll get permission from him so we can.
I'm just waiting for the hot chick challenge, so that's what I'm waiting for.
Yeah, that would be great.
All right, well, we're going to get into
hot chick with the little extra.
Sure. That's always a bonus.
Oh, always.
Yeah, sure. All right, well, we're going to get into the seasteading thing here right now.
Yeah.
All right, so this is the video for the seasteading thing. We've talked about this before on the podcast. Chris wasn't here when we did it, so this is going to be he knows some of it, some about it, and we're going to learn a little bit today about it. So this is the couple that live on that first structure that they created in Thailand, off the coast of Thailand. All right,
so Ocean Builders is selling.
This is that cool thing they have going off the coast of
a fraction of the cost any other place you would get oceanfront property. So
yeah,
it's the fact that we're beginning something completely brand new. It's going to grow bigger and bigger. So the whole seasteading concept will be
I love this.
Better governance. Your business
we just
will
grow
grow
all the
because
sharks.
Right.
You're actually in a system where there's smart systems.
Where he talks about the land.
All the gridlock and horrible systems that current governments have. They have a monopoly on land, but they don't have a monopoly on sea.
And that's why they don't like it.
Yeah, of course.
Because you can't tax them. They can't do anything.
They can't. I don't know, these people can't be governed.
To approve a new drug that could save millions of people's lives.
Right.
We don't need that, and we should be out here on the seastead to allow freedom-loving people to voluntarily choose their medical treatments.
No, but there's no rules yet.
Nice.
The rules
got a freedom
are not
boner
there
over
because
here.
there ain't no rules.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want. Is that correct?
Hey-oh.
I'm not worried about the no rules.
There's no rules with that picture.
Hello. The good rules that people create.
Yeah. No.
As a community.
You live by your own rules.
Smarter systems as opposed to.
I mean, I don't want to do anything dangerous that would jeopardize my life.
Right.
You know? I'll live by my own rules.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I mean, I thought that was a cool little like way that you guys can kind of see a little bit about it. So when we did this story, what was it? About 4 months ago or so, we talked about it from when we first heard the story when Chris was off the show for that little stint there while he was time traveling. We talked about how the Navy, and we got the story coming up right here.
The Schnavy.
And let me pull this up for you guys. And basically, this is they did it. Thailand did did a naval raid on the facility or the structure, and it's the thing that we talked about in the original show was that there's something like 7 miles out.
Right. They're in international waters.
They're in international waters. They're not in the Thailand's
jurisdiction.
Their actual territory.
Right.
However, they said something in the other story where it was their economic waters, which that means like what? Like we were saying, my street or my sidewalk, that you could say that's my economic property. Does that give you any
I don't want you traveling down my street because it's interfering with my
economic
with my economic health.
Yeah, it's such a stupid thing. They just don't like it because they can't control you.
Yeah, they can't. These people cannot be governed. I mean, they're out there on their own.
I'm
sure
ungovernable.
I'm sure maybe they go into the mainland to pick up supplies or whatever, but I mean, even that can be overcome. Commerce can come straight out to them, you know. Or if you put one of these communities in the path of, you know, a route that's traveled a lot, they could stop off and imagine like the money they would save instead of having transport everything to land. They get it directly to them out on the sea. I mean, it's a brilliant concept.
It's cool. I like it a lot. And one of the things that they were talking about, now I don't know if it'll be on one of the videos that we're going to watch because we watched a few,
right?
Was how there's that pylon below it, right?
Mm-hmm.
The pillar, and that thing drops down to the sea base that holds it. Well, they were already showing that in the 2 months that thing was there, that structure was there, the whole ecosystem down there was starting to boom, and there were like plants and coral and not coral. What do they call barnacles and whatnot? All that shit's all growing.
It was a whole new ecosystem,
and then all the fish were coming in.
Right.
So that was already more eco-friendly.
Yeah,
you know
I mean, you bring the small creatures in, then the bigger guys will come in looking for food.
God damn it, Chris!
And then it's a perfect opportunity. Perfect opportunity to kill sharks.
Yeah, shark fishing.
But I mean, you could also fish for like halibut or whatever. Or whatever fish are out there or whatever.
Halibut, yeah.
But I mean, it actually improved the health of the ocean in that little area, which is
so that was a little
awesome.
bonus. I wasn't sure if they're going to talk about it on one of these, so I want to make sure.
And I'm all for improving the environment.
Sure. Yeah. All right. So this is going to touch on now when the Navy came and raided. This is stuff that we haven't shown on this podcast. We had a different video. So this is all going to be.
Check it out.
Just finally, the phenomenon known as seasteading, where people try to build their homes in international waters beyond the authority of any nation state. Two aspiring seasteaders have had their property raided by the Thai Navy. The BBC's Tim Orman has the story.
It doesn't look all that much, but this small cabin could be quite revolutionary. Made of what appears to be wood and plastic surrounding a metal frame. Somewhere to get away from it all, including potentially the sovereignty of the nation state. For 2 months, an American Bitcoin dealer and his Thai girlfriend set up home in waters near Thailand. More accurately, 26 kilometres, around 14 nautical miles.
Fuck it. Oh, wow, even further.
Yeah.
Even further than
in international waters, but close enough for the Thai Navy to get involved.
So there you go. They just admitted it.
Yeah, like they have no business out there.
Not in their territory.
Yeah.
Media declaring their autonomy beyond the jurisdiction of any
got a weird
courts of
voice.
law of any countries, including Thailand. As well as this,
We are statists, and we want to control everyone and take their money.
To create
Fucking
an
Germans.
autonomous colony.
By the time the Navy arrived,
This is a cool quote
Frenchies.
here. Here we go.
had
Watch
already
this.
left. But on social media, one of them, Chad Elwatowski, said, "I was free for a moment.
Nice.
Probably the freest person in the world. It was glorious."
Oh, fucking freedom
awesome.
chills, dude. Freedom
homes
chills.
Right, yeah.
Jesus
so
Christ,
yeah, so
dude.
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, man, that was very cool.
I'm all about that whole freedom thing, and I
Yeah.
love that. It was glorious.
Yeah, I mean, you can't do that on land. I mean, in the United States, ultimately, the government has property rights.
Right, or Thailand.
Yeah, or Thailand. I
Yeah,
mean,
sure.
you can't do that here.
I always want to say
they
Taiwan.
They have eminent domain.
Yeah.
Even if you you build your compound and you make it a safe place and you want to keep the government out, that would never happen.
Oh, yeah.
The government would always find a way to come in.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Because
you can't take a
eminently-
piece of land
yeah.
on their
Yeah.
territory.
Yeah,
and
because
build
ultimately the government owns every piece of property.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even like your house, you think you own your house, don't pay your property taxes and see what happens.
Yeah.
I mean, you lose your property.
And the few places that don't have property taxes, it doesn't matter because they just come in there with
Yeah,
eminent
I mean,
domain.
they can say, as a matter of fact, this happened to one of my clients twice. So she had a house that backed up into like a natural creek, and the government came in and seized the land to put up pump houses. And she and her 50 neighbors, so they took 50 houses.
Oh, shit.
Came up with the solution, and the state said, no, we want the property. Everybody needs to get off. And that was it.
Because they wanted the territory.
Yeah, they wanted to.
Yeah.
They wanted to. And then the second time was basically the same thing. It butted up to a body of water, and the state said that they had to move.
Quit buying shit by water,
Yeah,
apparently.
yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
That's bullshit. It's your property. It's
Yeah.
not theirs. Like, what the fuck?
yeah, they claim rights over the water, bodies of water. And
So,
it's insane.
status, how do you justify that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
whenever we were dealing with status, they're always justifying
Well,
everything.
shit, you can't even collect rainwater.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, yeah. Well, yeah, some states I think you can, but yeah, that is a thing.
Yeah.
That is a thing. All right. Well, let's get back to the seasteading thing here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure there's There's two more videos we got here. This is okay, so this is the one that you were talking about, Chris, that you wanted to see. Let me switch over here. This is the one that shows kind of, you guys, you'll see like the concepts, the big plans, because
Right.
that was just like the
Right.
test run kind of thing.
Right.
So here we go with the actually what they're trying for, which is awesome.
Yeah. So these would be floating cities.
question I get quite often is, what is seasteading? And
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Seasteading started out, I guess, in 2008. It's a movement. It started out as a nonprofit, so it's called the Seasteading Institute, based in California. But I think just a
Did not
couple
know
months ago, seasteading is actually a word that's recognized by the Oxford Dictionary, and what it means is living on platforms on the open oceans and with new forms of society. So the way I got
Now, I'm going to pause this for a
involved
second.
in
Now,
this-
I'm pretty mad about this because the closest we're going to get to freedom means that we have to get in the backyard of the threat number 2.
Right, right.
This is the only
and I've been
right?
that's been kind
in
of
the
like
back of your
rattling
mind.
around.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
what pisses me off because you got these megalodons floating around, these black sharks swimming around the ocean,
Right.
and it's going to be a fucking problem, bro.
Black turtle sharks.
Sure. Turtles. Snapping turtles.
Snapping turtle sharks.
All right, let's go back. That was
Spreading
horrible.
their fucking feathers everywhere.
Sure.
Minister
Yeah, I
in
mean, I
French
hate that.
Polynesia, so a lot of people know my country by the name of Tahiti. And when I left the
Okay,
government,
so he was a politician.
I was looking at interesting
Ex-politician.
opportunities for what we could do, especially in terms of sea level.
Okay, I'm falling asleep here.
Yeah,
All
me
right.
too.
So there was another video.
Yeah.
Let's
so
check that one out.
So, but the graphic at the beginning was pretty awesome.
Yeah, this one might have this. thing.
Seasteading. What did the first seastead achieve?
Yeah.
The dawn of the age of seasteading began on
Yeah,
February
that was the
2nd,
very
2019,
first one, right?
when ocean movers
The
achieved
couple.
an engineering feat
Yeah, that is really cool, man.
So
cool.
And this is, like we said, this is the guinea pig. You know what I mean?
You could make that like 50. I mean,
100
by 100, and have like multiple rooms in it. And
add more of the pillars below.
Yeah. See, look at the ecosystem it's creating. Yeah, that's totally cool, man.
This rich new ecosystem was growing
look at
on
that.
Seastead after less than 2 months.
Wow.
Now the world knows we will increase the amount of life on the ocean.
It's like
with every
a
seastead we build.
like an artificial
reef.
Yeah,
when they sink the ships and whatnot,
right?
Too, and then they build those structures and sink them. Yeah.
Chad and Nadia, but they can't threaten the millions of builders they inspire.
So, anyways, we got to see that. That's a good one right there.
Man, that's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I could get on board with that right there.
Yeah, you know, I would just have to. What scares me is the not only the sharks, but like, what if there's a weather system that comes through and just blows you around? Like,
so
is that thing anchored down? Or?
That was talked about. So, here, let me pull us back up here. All right, so they talked about that, and I guess in the area. So the guy that was just talking, the guy that was the former Polynesian, some kind of diplomat or whatever he was, governor. I don't even know what he was. We were talking when he was saying it. He was saying that area that they were looking into has only had 2 major storms in the last 200 years.
Oh, really?
And so, and then they were saying about tsunami. So if you have a tsunami in that area, in that South Pacific area, wherever it was exactly, but it was South Pacific, they said that they have 8-hour warnings. So you'd still have that window of like you'd have an alert system and you could get out of there.
Right.
So there always is going to be that issue.
And I'm sure they could make it secure enough that it would survive a tsunami.
It just depends on how big it is.
Yeah.
That's all it was. But I mean, when you're talking about the water, right? So you're going to have tsunamis, hurricanes, or typhoons, depending on where you're living, which is the same thing. You know, you can have all that. You can have a rogue wave for that matter, right? Of course, fucking Jaws, the number 1 threat, or number 2 threat, sorry.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we have governments. I mean, and I love it because pirates are actually going to be the 3rd threat.
I was thinking about that too.
You know what I mean?
Like,
because your number 1 threat.
What if the Somalians make it over there?
I mean, yeah. I mean,
you got to be able to protect yourself, right?
Of course. Well, this is a freedom thing. They would have guns,
like
for sure.
Yeah.
And then you would end up, once the community became some kind of prosperous whatever, instead of just having the individuals doing their own security, it would probably end up being where there's 1 or 2 guys that go around and do, or the bigger it grows, right?
Or arm the whole community.
Well, I'm sure that would be a thing. I guarantee you that's going to be a thing. But what I'm saying is that someone actually's job would be to be on watch. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like a security team, you know? And I would totally, if I lived there, I'd totally pay it, or I'd volunteer, or whatever.
Oh, dude, yeah, everything would be voluntary. I mean, I would totally volunteer for that.
That would be cool as shit, right?
Hell yeah!
Harpoon gun and an M4.
Yeah.
Instead of the grenade launcher on the bottom, it's a harpoon gun.
Have you heard, bro?
Yeah.
Har, matey.
Killing sharks.
Yeah.
Blowing sharks up.
Sure. Blowing sharks. All right.
Right out of the fucking water.
Blowing sharks right out of the water.
I can't believe you've done this.
So anyways, I think this is a cool thing. So I do like, so when they had that like concept with the computer animation and stuff, those things which we didn't get to really see too much, we watched a couple videos and there was a couple that we didn't have on there apparently. But they were using cement slabs, which I could get more on board with for being more stable.
Okay.
And they were kind of doing them like octagon shape, and then they were kind of adding. So you would have them like kind of like a Legos or whatever, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like they would kind of like keep building off that kind of concept.
And if you wanted to not be part of the community, all you have to do is untie, right?
You're all in them out.
And take off.
You're all drifting out.
Yeah, just drift away.
Sure. Yeah.
Be part of your own little...
But I think that's cool because then you have that community. Now someone wants to move there. Well, you don't have to worry about land because you just pop a new one on there.
Right.
And now the ecosystem underneath starts booming more.
Yeah. You just got to get rid of these fucking world governments, man.
Isn't that crazy how Thailand came in there for... Like they had no reason.
They had no business. It was none of their business. But because it was the closest government to them...
14 miles. I said 7 because that's what I thought it was.
Right.
14 miles, guys.
Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, what do you want?
You can't see that far.
Like, and they were going to kill them.
Yep.
They're treating them like terrorists, right?
Yeah, exactly. You don't bring a fucking tactical team, which is their equivalent of the SEALs or their boarding parties, in tactical boats and a landing craft and go raid it with the Navy. And they're all tacked out, too. They didn't show it on this video.
Oh, yeah. They were definitely going to kill him.
Yeah, of course. If they resisted, they'd be dead.
Because they don't want them
And then they stole their property.
They don't want him stealing their tax slaves away.
Sure.
And
then they stole their property. They towed it away and confiscated it.
They totally towed it away. Now they're going to fucking reverse engineer it and start selling them, right?
Now it's Big Gay Al's sex shack in the back of some Thailand.
Yeah. Dirty Steve and his 7 friends are going to have sex in it.
Dirty Sanchez's Thai shack.
There's going to be fucking ladyboys and...
Sure. Yeah, send me the address later, Chris. On the way.
Yeah.
Get my passport this week.
Right down the street, make a left.
Sure. Yeah, sure. But yeah, I mean, like, so I like that idea better, though, the big blocks of cement being on that whole thing where it's all laid out. I feel more safe on that versus a little thing. However, that little thing, whatever, it's like a shed, that was the kind of guinea pig, you know what I mean?
You would have to develop those semen legs,
Yeah, sure.
Because you know those structures
I
are
think
going to be
my semen legs
like,
are really
they're going to be
developed.
like waving, so you have to have those semen legs.
Yep. Yeah. We're just the silence isn't awkward. It's actually to let that sink in for you guys, No pun intended with the sink in either.
Just sink in.
Yeah.
Semen legs.
Sure. But do you agree, though, honestly, like, you would rather be on the bigger kind of layout versus something small?
I kind of like the small thing, but but the only problem is, like, I wouldn't feel as secure as if I was on
so
a bigger
maybe
structure.
what they could do, maybe what they will do, not could do, but maybe what they'll do is they'll have that main fucking thing.
Right.
And then a couple of the bigger things there, like stores and whatnot. And then maybe they'll have separate ones like floating around by themselves.
That's what I'm saying.
That might
like,
be kind of cool.
Like if they put like a motor on that thing, then
I don't think they're going to do that. But
then you could,
they're going to tie off boats. You know what I
could
mean?
move it around or sail or something.
Yeah,
so you can.
They'll probably just tie off boats to it. Honestly,
Right,
that's probably
right.
what they're going to do. Like they'll have little docking ports and stuff, like you see when you go to a dock. You know what I mean? They'll just pull up on something like that. I'm sure that's the way they're planning it.
Yeah, all they have.
And you guys can
really,
look it up too.
Really,
like,
all
look
they
up
need is
Seasteading
like
Institute.
a main structure, and then. Like from there, you just build out, or you just
you add on to it, basically.
Yeah.
Yep, I think it's cool.
Yeah,
and that's some freedom as fuck shit right there.
Fuck yeah, dude.
It just pisses me off that now we have to add pirates as the third threat if we go this route.
Well, fuck, we're a threat to the pirates. Fuck the pirates.
Yeah,
we'll fucking eat your lunch, pirates.
Sure, and your parrot.
Yeah, some parrot food.
All right, and then Chris, You want to talk about the whole ice cream?
Oh yeah, this fucking phenomenon going around. So apparently, people are going around opening different packages. And, oh my god, that was so disgusting.
It is.
And licking products and putting them back. I saw this one. There's another one where this person gargles mouthwash and spits it back in.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. I mean, it's just wrong, dude.
These
people, you shouldn't do that.
These private companies, what they need to do is they need to just work on, private market. They just need to seal these things. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's no real seal.
Otherwise, the stores are just going to start locking everything and have an assistant come by and open up each case and take it to the front of the store.
Yeah, that's your only option. You either have to have someone there doing
like
that, or just put a goddamn piece of plastic around
fucking
it.
babysitter. Yeah, I mean,
you get a water, right?
Yeah.
And if that seal's broken, what do? You dump it out.
Make it unopenable while you're in the store. I mean,
I agree.
So
why
like,
isn't
you have to
the
go
ice
home
cream
and cut it
sealed
open
in the first place? You know what I mean? Some of them
yeah,
are.
that's kind of weird.
There
I've
is a
always
few
thought
that are.
that, man.
The ones in those plastic tubs, they have that. You pull that thing off. They are. But some of the other ones aren't.
Some of the other companies, I know for a fact, like Ben & Jerry's does not have a safety seal on it.
No. Well, yeah, and all the ones that are in that like cardboardy material,
and the
whatever
pints,
it is.
right?
Yeah, sure.
You're talking about
or
the
even
pints?
the ones that are in the it's just like that cardboard material, whatever that is.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Why do people have to be so fucking gross, dude?
Yeah.
Tampering with food
now,
to me is like the ultimate.
It's the lowest
sin.
thing. It is the lowest thing,
dude. You can't.
Now I saw the. I wish I had this right now, but I saw there was a picture of it where they had the lid off, and then they're like, "Something's wrong with mine," and it looked like two balls in a schlong. So you opened it up, and it looked like someone took a cookie cutter version of it.
Mushroom stamp.
It was beyond the mushroom stamp, bro. It was the full
It was the whole
flagship.
thing, huh?
It was the flagship, bro.
Flagship.
Johnson's.
Yeah, see,
Permission
dude,
to come aboard.
there was a story about one of like this. I don't know, like I don't know if it was Grubhub or it was some food delivery service, and the guy who was delivering tampered with the food, and then he posted the video online of him tampering.
Yeah, I've seen it before
Yeah.
where they do it at like fast food restaurants and they get in trouble later on and fired.
Yeah, no, this guy like he delivered to somebody who didn't tip him very well, I think is what happened, and he got arrested for that.
So when he went back the next time he filmed it or whatever,
Yeah,
he
he
fucked with it.
Yeah, he messed with their food and then delivered it. Like now, like, because I'll grab like Uber Eats or Grubhub
Right.
or one of those, and now they seal the bags. Like
okay.
the people who actually bag it, like
Right.
the restaurants.
Yeah.
They'll like staple the bag
That's a
shut or
good
seal.
thing.
Yeah, so nobody can mess with it. Because I mean, it ultimately it will affect their business also.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's
Absolutely.
such a growing market. Like you want to be part of that because it creates more revenue and it's less overhead because you don't have to have a table there for them. You don't have to, pay somebody to wait on them. All you have to do is
it's perfect,
make
dude.
the order and send it out, and then
There's a
boom.
lot of people that hey,
Yeah.
they're tired after work,
Right.
They're hungover
Right.
after drinking, whatever it is, right?
So it's
and they
beneficial for both the consumer
Yeah.
and the supplier, the
Yeah.
restaurant,
And like
or
you
whoever.
said, it doesn't affect the inside of the restaurant at all.
Right.
As far
It's
as,
like no
seating
overhead
area.
besides
Yeah.
the food that
Right,
they
yeah.
create. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's fucking good. I like it.
Yeah, I mean,
That's really cool.
it would be a huge profit margin.
It's just another one of those things, just like the seasteading thing. It's just freedom, bro. I
Yeah,
love it. Free
yeah.
market, dude.
Yeah,
We got a little
totally.
bit of a theme, even though that wasn't planned today.
Yeah.
Just that little freedom.
Yeah, we got some freedom
free market
going on.
shit.
Yeah,
I like it.
But you guys got to stop fucking with people's food.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean, that's
fucking
just-
disgusting, dude.
Yeah, if you see somebody doing that, fucking slap them. I mean,
slap a hoe.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for the NAP, but that's just tampering with food, and that's not okay.
You're violating my. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I mean, that's not cool, man.
Boogers
Don't
and
fucking
cum.
do that.
Yep.
That's what I'm
Boogers
scared
and cum,
of.
bro. Come
of
on now.
eating somebody else's cum, dude.
Snot and whatever. Ugh,
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah, dude, that's disgusting.
Yeah, I'm just disgusted by it.
Yeah, just thinking about it, like, like, I don't mind watching it on. I mean, it's gross.
Yeah, it is just. There's nothing more to say about it. Just
Yeah.
like stop.
Yeah.
All right, so we wanted to play the old Top Gun trailer here. So we're gonna pull this up.
Is this
here.
the original Top
This
Gun
is
trailer?
The oh, it is. Wait, no, it says 20.
Oh yeah. Top Gun Maverick. I guess
there we
there's Top Gun 2.
Yeah, so let me blow this up for you guys, and then we're going to watch it and get a little reaction. Chris has not seen the trailer. I've seen
I
it
have not.
one time a couple days back.
Let's see what's doing here. The music.
Please go to the Church of Scientology.
That's a cool shot.
Yeah, it was an F-18 Hornet.
Citations. Only man to shoot down 3 enemy planes in the last 40 years.
Flying that low to the ground.
Fucking sick.
You won't retire. Despite your best efforts, you refuse to die.
This is the whole movie. On the dry lake bed.
Just somebody telling a story over the top of it.
Yeah, just a dry lake bed scene, Aircraft carrier shot. Epic.
You should be at least a
cool
2-star admiral by now. Yet here you are.
Isn't that Ed Harris, right?
Yeah. Fuck, he's old.
He's old as
What
dirt.
is that?
Holy shit.
It's one of life's mysteries, sir.
Nice.
Maverick.
John Travolta's his wingman now. Scientology team. Ooh, that was cool. Ooh, updated version of the song. I think he likes patches. Oh, that's cool. They did a little throwback there with the first movie. Space helmet there, whatever the fuck
Dude,
that
this
was.
actually looks pretty fucking cool,
Yeah.
man.
Damn, it's like a lot of throwbacks to the original movie.
Yeah. That doesn't
They're
look
not
bad
showing
at
too
all,
much,
man.
but that's a good shot. That's a badass shot.
Dude, this movie looks fucking cool. If anything, for the cinematography.
Damn, bro.
The end is inevitable, Maverick. Your kind is headed for extinction.
Maybe so, sir.
But not today.
But not today.
Oh.
Nailed it. Now, I did watch it once before, but when I watched it the first time, I knew it. I just knew he was going to say that.
Yeah.
Oh, that was an F-14 right there.
Wow.
That was the original, like, the Tomcat, that they flew in the...
Dude, that was very cool. I think I'll watch that.
I like it. I think it was pretty good.
I usually don't like...
Cruise?
No. Like...
Remakes?
Remakes or, like, sequels and shit like that. I mean, what genre has ever put out a sequel that was as good as the original? It's very rare.
Terminator 2?
Yeah, very rare. I mean, out of all the sequels in the world that have ever been made, you probably only can count a handful.
I agree.
Yeah. So that looked pretty cool, though. I mean, paid homage to the original, and it looked kind of original itself. So.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
And
I
even
can get down on that.
And even the sequels, like what you're saying too, is even when the sequel's good, they're still not like as good as the original. Usually. Right. So you're right. Ultimately, yeah. I agree with that.
That looked like
that looked good. I think we.
No goose though, huh?
Well, gee, I wonder why. He was a real pain in the neck.
Spoiler alert. Goose dies in the original.
Spoiler alert. 1980, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, 30 years ago.
So I remember seeing that shit when I was a kid, dude. Like,
yeah.
And, it was just like the filming on the first movie. When you watch it now, it doesn't feel that way at all. But when you saw it back then, it was like the most epic, high-edged cutting film.
Oh, yeah,
it
dude.
looks so real and like...
Well, because they actually had to have people flying.
But I mean, even like the quality of the cameras,
there was no computer,
and the angle, everything was just like so much more...
Yeah, there was no computer generation.
This looked like they did the same, though.
Yeah, it kind of did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe they did, man.
And for you guys that don't know, Top Gun is a school for flying fighter pilots. That's a school. Because that's what a lot of people are like, oh, there's no war in it. I'm like, well, that's because it's not...
it's not a war movie.
It's like, go watch the original movie so you'll understand if you don't know. But
if you haven't seen the original, I suggest you do that. Like, go check it out. I mean, it's pretty cool.
I know a lot of people hate Tom Cruise. I like him.
There's a lot of cool...
I don't love him by no means. He's not like my top dude or nothing like that as far as an actor.
Right.
But I put him in the middle. Like, I don't think he's a crappy actor. There's a few movies that he made that I don't care for when I see him.
Well, I mean, what actor hasn't done a bad movie?
But I mean, like, I love the movie Oblivion. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie.
Yeah.
I fucking love that movie,
I don't think I have.
Oh, God, you need to see it.
But, I mean, he did War of the Worlds. And that was really good, dude.
I liked his acting in that movie. I liked that, but the movie itself, I didn't care for.
Yeah,
personally,
I thought it was
cool.
Pretty
Yeah,
good. And then he was
Last
also
Samurai was cool.
Yeah, Last Samurai was
that
cool.
Movie, dude.
And then was he in the Ronin movie? I think he was in the Ronin movie too. No,
the Ronin movie was no, that's what's his name? I can't think of his fucking name.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't him.
No, not Ronin. No.
But I mean, even the Mission Impossible movies were okay.
I wanted to say Al Pacino. It's not Al Pacino.
And then he
played Robert De Niro. There
he played Reacher. It was he's kind of like Reacher was kind of like what's Keanu Reeves' character?
Oh, John Wick. You're talking
it's
about?
It's kind of like a John Wick kind of thing.
Well, Minority Report was awesome.
Minority Report was awesome.
So there's a couple movies right there.
Vanilla Sky was fucking horrible.
I didn't like that movie.
That
either.
was terrible. Fucking Tom
And of course,
Cruise.
Top Gun.
Top Gun, yeah.
He was in The Outsiders.
Fucking dude, he was in some epic movies,
bro.
dude.
Yeah.
What was the movie that really set off his career? Was
Where he's dancing in his underwear?
Yeah, dancing in his underwear.
I don't know. I've seen that like back in the day.
That was like an 80s.
It's like a little dated now.
Movies, yeah.
I'm not a big fan of that kind of movie, but yeah.
Yeah.
So, but he's in a lot of stuff that I like. Like I said, he's not my favorite actor by no fucking means. But, like, there's some of the movies. That one, that Live, Die, Repeat movie was pretty cool, too.
He was pretty iconic. I mean, he is pretty iconic.
He is, yeah.
And
he did all the Mission Impossible movies. I didn't really care for a lot of them.
Right.
But I really did like Part 3. Part 3 didn't have hardly any of those. It didn't really have the gadget kind of stuff. I think the opening scene had a little bit of it. But then after that, it was just, like, kind of like shooting and running and shooting and fighting. And
there was one
was cool.
gadget that I really liked. It was the bubble gum.
In which one?
I think it was the second one.
It was a Mission Impossible you're talking about?
Yeah.
Was it a bomb?
Yeah, so you chew the gum and then he stuck it on a, what was it, like a aquarium
Okay.
Like a big like.
See, the
huge,
first
massive,
two I've seen a couple times.
Yeah.
I don't own those movies.
Yeah, he stuck it on the aquarium and it blew up the glass.
That's
and
cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
But once again, like he's not as bad at the people who go, I hate fucking Tom Cruise, and then I start naming. I'll like sit there and I'll go, did you like this movie? And they're like, well, yeah, that one's cool. I'll go, well, that one's cool.
Yeah.
Well, that one's cool. I'm like, okay, I named 5 or 10,
right.
and you like that, so you don't hate him.
Yeah, you don't hate him.
It's like fashionable to say you hate Tom Cruise. That's the problem.
I mean,
and sure, he's a Scientologist turd, but you know.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of actors that I don't like, but I like their movies.
Oh, ooh. That's a hard one for me because if I don't like them, I just don't like them.
Right, yeah.
You know, like I hate Matt Damon.
So you've never seen any?
No, but I do own Is it not Equilibrium? That's a totally different movie. Shit, I can't think of that.
Were you into the Bourne Identities at all?
No, I hate those movies.
Do you? Okay.
Absolutely hate those movies.
So you've never seen any of them?
I've seen all of them.
Oh, you've seen all of them?
I hated them all.
Really?
Yeah, he's punching a guy falling all the way down the stairs with stabs people with It's like, get the fuck out of here.
There was one really cool scene that he did that was like, he was in the bathroom fighting with somebody, and it was super close combat, which it looked pretty real. It was pretty cool.
Or you could just watch the new season of Punishers and the 2 on TV, and they have all that too.
Yeah.
If you don't like Matt Damon, I'm just saying it's comparable to what you're talking. I know what you're talking.
I'm not a huge Matt Damon fan, but I do like.
So the best time he's ever been in anything was in the Team America when he's the puppet Matt Damon. Yeah. That was the best movie he's ever.
Was that even him?
Sure. Yeah. It was a puppet. Matt Damon.
Oh my
we're
god.
We're guards.
Team America.
Yeah. America. Fuck yeah. That's a great movie.
So American.
But yeah, I mean, dude, like honestly, when there's an actor I don't like, I usually just don't see the movie, right?
Right.
And there's not that many that I really hate. Like, I do have to say, without being all trendy and all popular, like Brie Larson is annoying as fuck, dude. In that
I can't even remember any movies I've seen her in.
never seen her in any except for the Avengers Endgame, and she was annoying.
Yeah, I won't even watch that fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, well, Captain Marvel, I'm waiting to see because I don't want to pay a cent for it.
Yeah,
so I'm ready to watch it.
Yeah,
I just do not want to pay a goddamn dime for it.
Yeah, I don't even think I want to watch it.
No,
for
I
free.
want. I want to watch it. I want to so I can talk shit.
Yeah.
And if there's something I like about it, I'll be honest. I already told the Freedom Fighters I will tell you.
That whole like
Captain Marvel sucks, bro. Like in comics,
you know what
no
turned
one
me
likes
off? What turned me off is her anti-white male.
Well, yeah, that's
talk.
her as the actress, but even the character itself.
But it made me want to just
Marvel
fucking.
Sucks, dude.
It just made me not want to watch anything that she's in.
She's like Superman, except for instead of shooting lasers out her eyes, she's
I mean,
shooting
my favorite Marvel character fucking kicks her ass anyway.
Which one?
So
Which one?
Rogue, man.
Rogue. Oh yeah. Well, she stole her powers
Yeah,
too.
she stole her powers, put her in a coma.
So on the comics,
So
I think
fuck Captain
it
Marvel.
might be. You guys have to look it up at home, but in the new run of Captain Marvel, there's a really cool cover. The best cover is I think it's issue number 4, and it shows fucking Rogue like strangling her. And I actually was thinking about buying that one issue to frame it and put it on the wall.
Yeah, I used to have Rogue number 1. I don't know what happened to it. I think I gave it to my nephew, and I should have never done that.
Yeah, Rogue is so when we talk about superheroes with women and stuff like that, we've brought that up before.
Right.
I forgot. So I remember I like, for Marvel at least, I like Rogue and I like Storm, and then I forgot Psylocke. So if you guys don't know who she is, she's like a ninja-y telepath, and she has these like purpley pink
like energy.
Yeah, she could
energy
hit
size.
brain, and she could like control your brain like telekinesis and everything. She's really awesome. Like she's one of my favorites.
You know what? The Marvel Universe movie genre doesn't do these characters any good.
No, and they haven't even touched on the X-Men movies. The whole franchise completely sucks. They don't represent any of them correctly.
Right.
And then the ones that are with the Avengers, they did a better job. Like I can
definitely.
I'm not like insulted.
Right.
They're still not following comics and all that the way that I think they should. But they don't like insult my intelligence as a comic book fan.
Right.
But like those X-Men movies are fucking trash, man.
Yeah, I think they just tried to dumb it way down
and
for
capitalize
everybody,
on it just because it's like, oh, these are characters, we'll make our own story around it.
Yeah.
And then it's just garbage. And the Logan movie was the best one out of all those.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
And it just sucks because now that he finally kind of embraced that character the right way, he dies.
Right. Yeah, he dies.
Like, and then they introduced X-23, which was really cool too. So
but they did bring in Deadpool, which is
they did him right, and that was Fox.
Spot on. Deadpool is probably the best
comic book
MCU movie out there.
As far as the new version of Deadpool goes, which everyone pretty much knows. Not the original Deadpool, because he was just a bad guy.
Right.
Like, period. But yeah, as far as like following the more like 2000s-ish style of Deadpool, he's like pretty much dead on, dude.
Right.
Pretty much. They nailed it, bro.
Yeah.
And even Colossus they nailed in that.
They did.
He's totally the way he should be. Like zero complaints.
The other Colossus was all skinny.
Yeah, what the bro?
Like what the hell, man? But even the Rogue that they in the last two. Okay, so there was the X-Men, the original one that came out. Remember with Magneto and all those characters.
Oh yeah, it's supposed to be like the prequel kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So there was
Future Past.
No. Even before that, like the very first X-Men, where they have this big fight scene in the Statue of Liberty or whatever.
The very first movie, correct?
And then like they
where
kidnap
Wolverine
Rogue
has feathered
to
wings.
Yeah,
that one.
So that Rogue was shitty, right?
All the Rogues were shitty, dude.
Yeah, all of them were. I mean, they did such a bad job.
I hate it that they make her like a kid, dude.
Yeah,
even in some of the cartoons, they did that.
She's such a good fucking
You
character.
take one of the most popular fucking women superheroes in the Marvel universe, or even all comics, and then you fuck her up.
See, they should, to me, like...
How does the cartoon get her closer, even though it was still like a cartoon version of her?
Okay, so now we're in the world of like the feminist movement, right? The third wave feminism that's going on.
That's funny because we're finishing out the third wave and going to the fourth wave of the Marvel universe. So it's kind of funny that you said that way.
So they bring in, like... They should be making these women characters freaking amazingly strong. Like Rogue is stronger than any other male character.
Well, and here's
that I
a
can
way.
think of,
So
you know?
we were just talking about Alita: Battle Angel, which we both give thumbs up.
Yeah, it was really good. Check that movie out.
Now they developed. This is my point with bringing that up. They developed a character. They did not go in. You're a woman. You're strong. You're powerful.
Right.
They just said no. It's about caring about people. It's about standing up for doing what's right.
Right.
They developed the individual character. And then
I will not stand in the presence of evil. Fuck, dude.
That was awesome.
That is awesome.
And that's what they should be doing with these characters,
right?
They should develop the character. Like, you don't hear a guy character going, it's because I'm a strong, proud man.
Yeah.
Like, that would sound so lame, dude.
Right.
Like, just create the character. No one talks like that in real life, dude, when they're going like, us women need to stick together. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
Like, I want to control the narrative. Nobody fucking says that, dude.
No.
Come on, get the fuck out of here.
That's Captain Marvel, right? God damn it.
Yeah, so, I mean, base the female characters around the strengths that they have.
Their powers, their backstory.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I mean, that's enough.
And so here's the thing: is like Captain Marvel did that whole bullshit with that background. We've seen only the trailer, so with the whole like military background and being like shunned upon because she's a woman, and all that. And then they did the new WC Batwoman trailer, and that showed her being in the military and being. It's like. Bro,
okay, so
no one gives a fuck, dude.
Like the Black Widow, they didn't have to do any of that kind of bullshit. Mm-hmm. I mean, the character was strong enough to stand on her own.
Awesome character.
Yeah, I mean, she's even having a movie. I think,
it's supposed to be a prequel, I believe.
Yeah, so I mean, they didn't need the backstory. She was just. It showed how she grew up. I mean, I know there was.
They give you bits and pieces in each of the movies too.
In each of the movies, so they show a little bit of how she grew up, how she got into the KGB intelligence or whatever, and then like how she became an assassin and where she is today. Totally stands alone. Didn't need any of the political angle to it. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was very simple. I mean, it's very simplistic. All these characters are like that, but because we're in the age of where we are right now,
right?
You know,
this whole SJW bullshit.
Yeah, SJW political correctness stuff. It's unnecessary.
Well, so I went back and I was thinking about when I was a kid reading all these comics, and I still am. And I was going through who I liked and all that, even back then. And it was like, okay, I like Domino. And the real Domino, not the version in the Deadpool. They did fuck that up. She did a great job. I'm not saying that chick didn't do a good job. It's just not the real Domino. But Domino I loved back in the day. That's why also I was a little bit irritated by it. Rogue, Psylocke, and Storm. Those are like kind of my top.
Right.
I mean, I had other ones that I liked too, but those were like my top.
But
favorite.
even Jean Grey, they fucked up, dude.
I don't like Jean Grey.
Man, they fucked her
so
character
here's
up
the
bad,
crazy
dude.
part. I love Cable, and Jean Grey and Scott Summers, Cyclops. They're like the parents.
Right.
So like, but I hate them. And I
Right.
hate, and everyone's going to get mad, but I hate Professor Xavier. He's always like, my team, this is my, he always acts like he's all caring and sensitive, but if you listen to what he says.
The comic books are so much better than the fucking movies, dude. They take too much liberty in the
even in the comics, bro, I'm like, fuck you, Cyclops. Fuck you, Jean Grey.
Well,
Jean Grey's hot, don't get me wrong, but
the storyline with Mr. Sinister is pretty good.
Oh, he's awesome.
Yeah. And
Apocalypse and in the comics and Mr. Sinister.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
The shit.
Those are good fucking
Those are
characters.
my favorites. Currently, right now, Sabretooth, somewhat currently is kind of a good guy now. He's running a Weapon X team with Old Man Logan and Lady Deathstrike, the one that has those long claws. It's been in all, she's always a bad guy.
Yuriko.
She's on the team, and then so is Domino.
Right.
And what's the Indian guy's name? The big guy. He has two different names, so I always get him confused.
I forget.
It's like Warpath or something. I don't know. Indian.
Yeah, Warpath.
Yeah.
Warpath.
There's he has another name too, but I think
he's also in the future. He's also part of the future team, right? With Cable.
Yeah.
Isn't he?
Yeah. So he started out in he was in X-Men back in the day, but he became part of the New Mutants and then went into X-Force originally, which I should know his fucking name since it's my favorite team.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was my least favorite character back then. But they made him cooler now. Like he has the gray, I like the black and gray uniforms.
Right.
And then DP, Deadpool, he's hangs out with X-Force and shit now. So
X-Force,
where he was a bad guy back in the day. But you're right, Mr. Sinister, badass.
Yeah, he's a great character.
But yeah, man, get back to the women thing real quick with the comics and all that stuff. It's just like, dude, why? Like
it's unnecessary.
Yeah, and like we said, we just saw this basically within this last week. We both saw Alita Battle Angel.
Yeah, and it was
awesome.
totally not like social justice or any of that kind of stuff. It was just she was just a cyborg who was rediscovered after a few hundred
300 years or some crazy shit,
and put back together and is slowly developing.
Figuring out who she is,
figuring out who she is.
And
she has amnesia, doesn't remember the path. But I mean, there's no like
women power bullshit.
It's not. Yeah, it's not forced.
And even the other lady, the one that was the doctor's wife, and that she was never pulling any of that either.
Right.
So it's like, and you know what I mean. And even Ghost in the Shell, like when you watch that movie back, like a year back or whatever when it came out, like that, they didn't do any of that crap.
I think anime gets it. Anime gets that's not necessary. That it's automatic. Like their powers make them equal to their male counterparts.
Yeah, and then you go and watch these comic book movies or these comic book TV shows are way worse. And dude, I was watching. Just if you guys like comics and all that, just do yourselves a favor if you haven't seen it, don't see it. The Supergirl show.
Dude, that's
CW,
so bad.
It is horrible. I am literally Jamie on the podcast has seen me forcing my way through the last whatever the latest season is on Netflix, and I'm like 2 episodes from the end.
Right.
And I literally can only watch like a quarter of it every time that I do watch it. And I'm forcing my way through it.
Yeah, there's a lot of
SJW shit all over it.
Yeah, I'm a big Flash fan, and I love the Flash.
That show is just cockapoo.
Yeah.
Originally, it was okay.
Yeah, the first 3 seasons or 2 seasons
I felt like
great.
the 3rd season's when it started.
So this season, the one that just passed, there's a new character, female Black Power
His daughter
chick. And she's no.
Oh, the current season.
Yeah, the current season.
Yeah. That one's
she's
not
a brand new character, and like there was even like a scene where this male figure was saying, "Well, do it this way," and she was like, and she said in the show, "I don't want to do it that way. I want to control the narrative of my life." And it's like, come on, man, like really, like you have to talk like that, like that's
in the current run of
and I'm not even saying that that is a bad thing. I think women should control the narrative in their life.
Any individual should.
Yeah. I mean, that's
taking sex out of it.
That's absolutely freedom. Like to control.
But who talks like that?
Who talks?
They're
like
pushing
that?
an agenda.
Yeah. It's a political. It's been politicized.
So in the current run of Avengers West Coast, the very current run, they have this one character who has a surf shop, and she's a black lady, and she's like. She's talking about how she has access to power so she can become a superhero, but she's all, in my world, I already am a superhero because I'm a black woman who owns a shop and is a pro surfer. And it's like, that makes you a fucking hero? Like, what? Like, and so how is that? And who talks like that?
Yeah.
And then she gets the power and becomes whatever, too, superhero too. But it's like, why did you need that in there? That was like, that felt like I was watching one of the TV shows, but I was reading a comic.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's just getting out of control. Like we know that like there are things that in our past as a country or whatever that we need to make right.
Absolutely.
But the third wave feminism is just it's
out of control.
Yeah, it's just,
it's not even feminism. It's beyond that. It's now just that social justice.
Yeah,
because it's across the board.
It's making it to me. It's making me feel like I don't want to participate in it. Like before, like voting rights or whatever they were fighting for, like I could get on board with that. I understand that their voices want to be heard.
Of course.
Even though I don't believe in voting
we're against
or whatever.
voting.
But I mean, it was.
You understand.
But it was important at the time. So I understand that, like that fight. But now it's just like, it just seems like
it was more of a fight for equality at that time.
Right. It doesn't seem like that now. It just seems like we want this privilege.
They want to, even though they're saying they want equality, that's not what they're doing.
Right.
They're trying to elevate themselves.
Right. It's not about equality. It's about privilege.
It's just exactly, and it's just like with power corrupts, right? They start getting power, and they're going with it.
Like I understand, like fight for equality in the workplace or whatever, but I mean, there's things that women can do that men can't do, and there's things that men can do that women can't do, and that's just the bottom line.
And individually, there's some women that are stronger than me.
Right.
And I understand that.
Yeah, I mean,
there's women
totally.
that can shoot better than me. Yeah. So it's like always comes once again down to the individual.
And that's where it should stand, with the individual. Like,
And so, I mean, like, for me, I think that this is always the worst argument because they're always coming at it as this collective.
Right.
Where it's like, no, the individual has a right to do X, Y, Z, right? And that's what the argument should always be about.
Right.
Not about, like,
your individual rights. Your individual freedom.
They make it a collective, so then they get their votes and all that.
Yeah.
And that's what no one understands. It's all
tribalism,
political.
Man.
It is tribalism. It's all political ploy to get votes.
Right.
Keep you in their back pocket.
Yeah, and social justice is hot right now. So, before it used to be conservatism or, Nazism.
Well, one other thing I'd like to bring up real quick, just getting back to the comics just for 1 second. What I think is interesting with these comic book shows, more so with the actual comics, because definitely the target is males.
Right.
So by them always pushing that in those comics, it's like backfiring in a sense because they're getting turned off by it. Like, when you read it, you're just like, really? Even back in the day when they would throw something a little bit like that, even in the 90s and stuff, and 80s, they would throw little bits and pieces of that stuff in there, and all you would do is just roll your eyes.
Right.
And that's what I felt like. I was just like, really? Come on. Just tell me. I want to know what's going on in the story.
Dude, I won't even watch The Flash anymore because of that whole incident, dude. And that was, to me, that was like, whoa, fuck. I love.
Do you want a good one? Because I know you're not watching Supergirl.
No.
So on Supergirl, they introduced a transgender superhero woman. Yeah. And she's pretty cool.
I can get down with that.
She's pretty cool. Now, I have no problem with
that.
But this is my example of feeling forced. So I had no problem with that. She did, like, say a little bit of preachy shit.
Yeah.
That was like, come on, no one talks like this. Get the fuck out of here. She did an interview, and I was like, okay, I get the interview because that's what it's supposed to be. So that's how they should have injected that politics into the show.
Right.
But then they had their little personal talks between their friends and stuff, and it was like, come on, you're forcing it. Now, the best example when I had to stop it, bro. So they're in a bar fight scene, and she hits the jukebox with one of the bad guys, and American Woman by Lenny Kravitz comes on, and it plays through a whole fight scene. And I'm like, so what you're saying is American women are trannies? Like, I didn't get, like, what the point of was that. Like, like, it's kind of a weird, confusing to me. It was like, What do you mean by this? Like, this is kind of weird.
I think they don't want a distinction between.
And an individual that wants that's fine. I have no problem with that. It was just weird because that my example was being forced upon it.
Right.
And that's what I was gonna say.
Instead of it like coming.
And I have no problem that they did that either because like, hey, it's their show.
Right.
They do their own thing.
Yeah.
They dig in their own grave, or they're not, or they're building their franchise.
Right.
I don't know.
It
just to me it was
when
forced.
It's forced. It's
I literally paused it and was just like, "Are you fucking kidding me right now? Like, what are they gonna do next season? I'm just a girl, like by no doubt. Like, I mean, like, oh, they already did that in Captain Marvel, so they probably won't do it. But like, it was weird though that they did it with a transsexual superhero, and it was just kind of weird to me.
Right.
And I had no problem with the character. Actually, the character in there was better than half the characters in there anyway. So I didn't really have a problem with her.
This is the thing with anime. Like they don't.
They just rape, kill, and do all their weird shit.
They don't like distinguish the characters between male and female.
And they always have like so. This is a good point. I've seen a lot of animes where they have gay different things going on, like literally gay acts and whatever.
Right.
And I don't feel like it's forced in the sense of like they're trying to push an agenda. They're just showing.
Yeah,
this guy's a gay guy, or this lady's gay, or whatever.
And that's like really like not even like. That's not even part of who. That's just part of who they are. That's not their identity.
Exactly.
And I feel like that's what happens. Like this has become such a big part of
this is a topic that me and Chris don't really get into.
The SJW. It's become their identity, and so it's being forced on everybody else. To where anime is more like the character stands on his own. Because of his because of their powers and what they can do, whether it's male or female,
vampire or whatever the hell it is.
Whether
there's always some weird shit in there.
Whether they like a man or a woman, if they're heterosexual or gay
or demon
or demon,
some crazy shit.
I mean, it doesn't matter. Their powers are what defines them.
And I'm sure there is I'm sure there's some anime out there that has some political bullshit. But I don't see
But anime's been doing this since the beginning of anime, so it's not like it was like a natural progression. People just know, to where here in America, like it's not happening naturally. It's being forced in our culture.
You've seen Ninja Scroll, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So like one of the characters is gay in that, and he's a Gamma. I think his name was Gamma. And he's like he also loves men or whatever, and they say that in there, and it was like it didn't feel forced. It felt like it was part of the story.
Right.
Like it didn't feel awkward. Where when you're watching TV shows, I'm just like, what? Like that felt.
Who does that appeal to? I mean.
I feel like so this is what I feel like with all the new comic book movies and comic book TV shows and even the comics now is I feel like they have, and I've said this on the show before, I feel like they have a clipboard that says we need a black guy, we need a black girl, we need to have a gay, we need a lesbian,
boxes,
and I feel that's the way it feels like when I'm watching it.
Right.
It's like the writing is so sloppy.
Right.
And they have to just check these things off, and it's like, okay, we met our quota for this show.
We've
they're like a cop that has a quota.
We've included everybody. Like, we're not discriminatory. Like, it's virtue signaling.
Well, and it's ridiculous. Like, how do you have Thor and all these guys that are based off of, like, Norse mythology and stuff, and then you have, like, Asians and blacks and all that, like, in there? Like, why wouldn't we have, like, in Rwanda, like, why wouldn't we have all these white people and Asians and stuff mixed in there, too? Because
right.
But it doesn't work both ways.
Yeah.
They only do it when it suits the SJW.
That's why.
And it proves the point.
That's why we need to keep the politics out of this bullshit. Because it's
entertainment, not fucking politics.
Because politics makes things racist. Like,
can you imagine watching 300 and they're like all different races and stuff?
Yeah, dude.
Greeks.
I mean,
that would be weird.
Yeah, it would be weird. I mean, even though they did have a Puerto Rican in there, but he was a mutant. Let's keep the politics out of it, man. I mean, fuck. There's such good storylines. We don't need that in there. I understand. Everybody wants to be recognized. Everybody wants to feel a part of. Nobody wants to be excluded.
I'm all for that too.
Yeah, but I mean, we can do it in ways that
it's not forced.
Yeah, that's not forced, and everybody's included.
It's like the non-aggression principle in a weird way.
Yeah,
You're forcing me, bro.
It really is.
Yeah. And then what sucks is because they have a monopoly on these things that they're like forcing it through.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Where Like if it was like more of an underground.
That's what I'm saying. It's not It's not occurring.
It's not a ground up thing.
It's not a natural progression. It's a forced. It's forced on us, and that's when there's a hard edge. That's when you know it's like, you know.
And comics. See, I even had a problem back in the day with comics when they were tokenizing characters. So like you'd have like the female version of a male or a black version of a white or whatever, right? Like I always had a problem with that too. Like I didn't like how you had a female Thor. I didn't like how you had, you know, a female She-Hulk. Like why don't you just make her a different thing?
Yeah, make her a different thing as strong.
It's
with
like why do you
powers.
have to take it's kind of an insult if you think about it, because it's like you have to have a bat girl. Like why can't you?
Like
just
she's not strong enough to stand on her own. That's insulting.
It is, and no one thinks of it that way. But I've always done that. Even back in the day, I was like, wait, there's Batman, and that's it. And then there's Robin.
You know what's funny, dude? Is I just saw like a meme. It was about the feminism, right? Like it said, why. And it showed 3 movies. It was like Ghostbusters, Star Wars, and like another genre that was dominated by men, right? Like if your feminism is so strong, why do you need to take male roles?
Right, make something new.
Right.
Here's a good example. I don't know if you guys ever seen the movie Sucker Punch, but that's all women in the whole thing.
Dude, I love that.
And I love that movie.
I fucking love Baby Doll, dude.
Sure.
My God, dude.
They're all strong women.
Yeah. Yeah,
they're all represented. Yeah. They're all great actresses.
It shows how they overcome adversity and sexual slavery in that movie. And it's such a fucking
and it doesn't feel like it's
it doesn't feel forced.
Justice
bullshit. Not at all. Not one fucking bit. The first scene when she goes into that trance and she fights that big Japanese stone samurai.
Samurais, yeah. There's 3 of them. Yeah.
I was like, this is fucking amazing,
I was like,
dude.
oh my God.
Yeah, it was amazing. It's an amazing movie.
So if you guys haven't seen Sucker Punch, go see it. If you don't like a little bit of that weird, it's kind of dark.
Yeah,
There's
is
a
dark.
little bit of weirdness in it, like rapiness and stuff in it.
Yeah, well, I mean that's part of the story. I mean they're.
But if you're squeamish on that, you might not enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because I've seen 2 people I know that saw it didn't like it because of that part of it.
Right.
But I mean, the ultimate message is pretty good. It is a dark movie. It's it's sad. You know what I mean? Like ultimately, but it's great. The action's great.
Yeah,
it's original.
To me, it's an empowerment movie. Like I mean, one of the phrases in the movie was, "You have all the tools you need. Now fight."
Yeah.
You know, like saying like you're strong enough. You don't need an outside source. Go fight. All you have to do is stand up for yourself. And to me, that's like freedom as fuck right there.
And the only main character that was a guy in the movie was the Guardian Angel guy.
Yeah, the Guardian Angel. Well, besides the male
bad guys.
Bad guys, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like good guys wise, it was all women.
Right. Oh, dude, it was an amazing movie. I love that movie. I must have watched it fucking like 50 times. Do you really?
Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
Dude, I love that movie.
It's a great movie, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good example, right?
Right.
Like you didn't need to take something and change it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just make shit.
I'm all for women empowerment. I'm totally for it. Like I'm on your side.
Laura Croft is
like,
cool.
Show me tell me how I can help without getting in your way, and I'll be right there. You know, but don't force some crazy stuff on me.
Agenda.
Some agenda, some political agenda on me, because that doesn't.
Yeah, you go through
that defeats your cause.
Right, and if you go through like the top 10, top 20, top 30 even superheroes, I guarantee you on my list, if I were to actually sit down and think about it, I would say over half would be women.
Yeah.
More than the men, maybe.
Half and half for me, for sure.
Yeah.
You know?
But we're the ones that will get blamed for saying, oh, you guys are sexist and all that. It's like, no,
I'm absolutely not sexist.
I like these chicks, these broads.
Dude, I love female. I love female superhero characters.
So here's a little thing that some people don't know. I have written a few different little stories. Like I've done that on my own. I never finished any of them or anything, but I put some serious time into them.
Right.
And I would say over half are female-led or highly, like if there's a team involved or something.
Right.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
So I look back at it now, and because it's been a couple years since I've done that, and I look back at them, and I was like, wow, dude, yeah. Because I wasn't thinking like that. Like what do I want to see? You know what I mean? In my mind when I'm writing it, and that's what it was.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of crazy, right? Like before, what was it, like three to 4 years ago when this whole SJW bullshit really popped off? no one was really talking about that anymore, dude. Like, I didn't really hear any of that shit since, like, I don't even know. When I was a kid, I heard it a little bit.
Yeah.
There's a little bit. But then in the 90s, I didn't hear any of that shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know what's amazing in my life is I work with a lot of women, and they're in positions of authority over me, and they handle themselves and they carry themselves so well, and they do their jobs amazingly that you don't even feel.
You're not even thinking about the sexuality.
You don't think about that. You just think this person is leading. I need to follow because the job needs to be done.
And that's the way it should be.
Yeah, and this
individual is doing their shit.
Yeah,
and
right.
I respect it,
and and it's totally respectable. And these are women. I mean, when I think of the
just because you're a woman doesn't mean that we have to listen to you. That's what they want, though.
Yeah.
Or the movement does.
Yeah, like the individual.
And that goes with men or any race or anything.
The individual strength of women is so much more powerful than the groupthink political agenda.
And the whole SJW bullshit.
Yeah, I mean,
because that's what they're all, like we were saying earlier, it's like they're trying to not make everyone equal. They're actually trying to elevate them into this level. And I'm not just talking about women, people. I'm talking about like any of the different alternative lifestyles or whatever you want to call it. I'm not PC. Any of the different genders, race, any of that stuff, right? They're always trying to, like, they say they want equality, but then they just bump them up above that, and then everyone has to tiptoe around them, and by everyone I mean men.
Yeah, and
I'm not no pro.
And that's
men, bullshit.
And that's
I don't care.
And that's what it seems like. It's like more of an attack on the patriarchy, and the system, which includes every single man on earth, than it does them being equal to us.
Well, and I think that, like, for me and Chris, we've said even from the beginning of this podcast that we don't like talking about this kind of stuff.
No.
It's not our thing.
No.
We don't care. And we've always looked at everyone, just like he was talking about with the women that he works with, like, we don't care.
You're my equal. I mean, I've always thought the women were equal to me,
Yeah.
And it's not about their gender. It's about their quality of their character and
the individual
and the quality of their work ethic. I mean, to me, work ethic is more important than gender, than race, sexuality, anything. If you're a shitty worker, I don't want to work with you. And I work with a lot of guys. Or I have worked with a lot of men that are shitty. Like terrible,
lazy,
and I don't want to work with them. I don't want to associate with them. And I've worked with women who are shitty workers too. But I've also worked with women like now that are absolutely top of their class in the industry that I'm in.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, and it's fucking awesome. And you don't even see it that way.
Yeah. When I think back at all the different jobs that I've had, it would be half girls, half guys, and
to me, like if you're in a position where the company trusts you and you're the leader, it doesn't matter what gender you are. What matters is how efficient you are at being a leader and getting the job done. And that's always the thing that mattered to me. If you work as hard as I do, or your work ethic is as good as mine or better, then you deserve the money that you want. Now everybody has to negotiate on their own terms. I can't go and negotiate for you because I'm not going to get you. I may not get you the best deal, and I don't know what you need.
And that goes into the whole voting thing too, right?
Right, exactly. So I wouldn't go negotiate a salary for my female counterpart because I may not get her the best wage. I mean, everybody needs to go to their boss and negotiate their wage and get what is right for them or what they feel they're worth. You cannot
have it forced upon you by law.
You can't get like 1,000 people and decide that this is what you want and this is what you all deserve when you don't work equally. When the workload is not being equally shared.
You're a lazy motherfucker. You're a lazy motherfucker. I don't care what race or what color, what sex, whatever.
See, that to me is there's too much communism, socialism, work ethic in that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what it always comes down to, right? That's why everyone's conditioned with the government schools to like get along and do all their thing. And
right, just like we talked about the schools earlier. You know, California doesn't want private schools because then the control and the indoctrination is out of their hands. You know,
heaven forbid, right?
Yeah,
they don't have power.
Yeah. Heaven forbid kids should learn to think for themselves.
And that goes with the whole SJW movement. Yeah. What they don't understand is the SJW warriors are like thinking that they're doing something revolutionary, and all they're doing is feeding into the government.
And that's what it's about. This is not about like feminism
you want equal rights. It's become a fucking libertarian.
Yeah,
bro.
it's about the SJW movement. Yeah. It's a political movement that is just
socialist
being forced.
fucks.
Yeah, you know. Like you're right, Johnny. Be a libertarian or be an ANCAP.
Sure.
You know, you want freedom. You want to be able. Yeah. You want
self-ownership.
Yeah.
End of story.
Yeah.
Self-ownership.
That's it.
Individualism.
That's what it comes down to. That's what we always talk about. Yeah. That's what we're about here at Grim 86 Freedom First podcast.
Freedom First.
That's right. All right, you ready to wrap this up, Johnny?
Yeah. Let me do this real quick.
All right.
Check us out on the old Facebook, the Twitter. Obviously on YouTube, Instagram, SoundCloud, Pornhub, Patreon, Spotify, and then also we have our link below, and that's going to have all of our shirts and merchandise.
All that good stuff.
Yeah, all right.
Thank you guys for joining us once again on another episode of Grim 86 Freedom First podcast. Remember, don't trust your leaders. We're out.
They're bad guys.
Sir!